Plat Chat Overwatch, episode 255. We got Matt, we got AVRL. Wait, why do you laugh like immediately?
Well, because
Matt?
you announced it like you were surprised. Like you were just like,
I am.
Plat Chat episode
What?
255. Like it was like a question.
What?
Is it 255?
It is 255.
You were.
I don't
you
know,
sound
like-
sure.
I was saying in the pre-show, I'm surprised. I don't know how we got Matt back again. He's back
know,
for
like
real
a-
this time, you know.
Yeah,
What?
I have to be here.
What's
This is the longest episodic Overwatch series ever. It's existed through the dark times, the good times. It's still rolling.
Well, yeah, I guess. I
It's
don't
been our
know
one
where to go with that.
consistency
I was
in
gonna
this
say,
scene.
There hasn't really been many dark times, to be honest, but you know,
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's existed. We've been here. I mean, just before we went live, we talked about like Philadelphia Fusion in 2019 and those good old times. Back when Apply was still playing, it was competing.
The good times. The good times.
The good times.
Do you
Well,
miss competing Apply?
Every now and then, I miss playing at a high level, but I don't think I miss the extra stuff. Like you know,
the bullshit, the sitting
Yeah.
in scrims for like 9 hours a day. I mean, like,
Wait,
who the hell wants to do that?
it is a lot easier being a content creator. I'll tell you that. But nothing beats competing though.
even with Overwatch, do you miss the Overwatch?
Oh yeah, I definitely missed that. That was so fun. That was really enjoyable.
We tried our own go at it with the Plat Chat team. It didn't,
Yeah, how'd that go?
We lasted one match.
And not as long as an episodic series.
Yeah, I actually posted that VOD on my YouTube channel today just to like save it. So it's still we'll memorize it forever.
So
Watch
what you're
those
telling me is you
glorious-
guys ran the pilot and then the entire season got axed just
Yeah.
right after the pilot.
I had people
That happens,
messaging me.
That
just
happens
like,
in
hey,
Hollywood, guys. Happens in Burbank
can
all
we
the time,
feature your
actually.
games? And I was like, sorry, I don't. This is not. Sorry,
gotta
it's
get
not
a-
happening. Like
An
we're
Overwatch
done.
versus
Yeah.
Plat Chat show match.
You guys promised FACEIT an entire season of Overwatch games.
I know.
Okay, to be
Yeah,
clear, we
true.
paid them money.
True.
We paid them money, so they got
Yeah.
our money for one game of ours. I'd say we came up short there.
Yeah, they took my money. I would have gotten better returns lighting my money on fire.
You know what? The best part about this, the best part about this is Johnny cut me from the team, and you guys only lasted for one episode anyway, man. Bro, I can't believe this.
Johnny
I
cut
can't
like
believe
30
this.
people from the team, so don't
That's
feel
insane.
bad.
Allegedly, that's
Who was the
supposed to-
starting roster?
Well,
No.
it was supposed to be me, Matt, Jaws, Jake, and Avast. But Jake was casting Deadlock, so he wasn't there. So we brought in Ashento, who's a friend of ours, to fill. And then we lost 0-3. Me and Avast, we tried to bring the good vibes. We didn't really go in with a plan. We had no compositions.
That's true.
We didn't know what roles we were going to play. And so we lost 0-3. And after that, I think we kind of just went our separate ways
I'm
because
just-
Hope
we
died.
weren't aligned. We weren't aligned in our philosophy for the team
It didn't
and
click.
our path moving
Matt
forward.
barraged the ground, and all hell broke loose. Look, I'm just saying, look,
Predicted
if I was
barrage.
there,
Predicted barrage.
if Matt had the perks on, he got to move the barrage, the new
Oh,
fire
dude,
pit, but just
That was
Right?
the problem.
Just a little
Oh.
too
yeah.
late.
The
I was
perks.
playing an early
Yeah.
build and I got confused.
yeah. I'm just saying, if I was there, I would have held the group together. I would have been like the glue. I would have been like the glue, like opener, you know, the glue for Toronto. So that's just how it would have been.
Yeah, perks could have helped us in a lot of ways with that team.
I would have said, guys, chill, Jaws, it ain't that serious, and we would have had a good time.
So today we're going to talk about OWCS, but before we get into that, Apply, you haven't been on the podcast in quite a while. I think the last time you
Yeah.
were on, we were doing the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire kind of like
Yeah,
trivia
we
thing,
did a
whatever.
quiz.
We did a quiz. We did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was fun.
Yeah. You've been playing a lot of Marvel Rivals, but you recently got back to Overwatch. You've been streaming some more
Yeah.
Overwatch with the new perks. Like, where are you at? Where are you at in your journey? Do you still like Overwatch? Do you prefer Marvel Rivals?
I've been very transparent in my opinions. I still think Overwatch is a better game in my opinion, especially the optimization. It just feels better. Also,
I saw
I,
a tweet the other day, yeah.
yeah. Also, I love Overwatch esports. No matter how much people talk about like the base of the game or the ranked of the game, I still love Overwatch esports. I love seeing the best players play. But yeah, I'm happy to be back, and it's good to be back into the esports scene of it too. It's been a while.
I love how you just rocked that Immortals chair.
Oh
You got
yeah, I
CJ.
stole this.
Yeah.
I stole this from Immortals. When I left, I just took it.
My favorite thing on the broadcast is when we have CJ for the interviews and he's got that Valiant backdrop. And I'm just like, he doesn't want to get too comfortable. He always wants to remind himself where he came from.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to rise
Where's-
up too quick.
It's a good
So
chair.
I say, where's Applies Valiant back? Then I realized Immortals, that's the connection. It's like, a little bit more OG. You know, I gotta show you. When you drop that you think Overwatch is better moment. It was like, man, where's our air horn like sound effects going on? That's an unpopular opinion these days. So you know,
Yeah.
Cut it. No, I mean, I think they both serve different people.
Like, talking about Marvel here? Marvel
yeah,
and
they
Overwatch?
both games serve different people. I mean, it's not that hard to understand. Like, Overwatch is like a more optimized, better competitive game, probably at the moment. I would say Marvel has some room to grow there potentially, and then Marvel is like fun, where you're just like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna fuck around. I'm gonna just jump on. I'm gonna play some Iron Man, beam some people down, and just have a fucking laugh.
Yeah,
like
that's the way I see it too.
yeah.
Like I equate Marvel Rivals kind of to like a Call of Duty. Like I want to get on and just play with a couple friends,
Matt knows
play a
Call
couple
of Duty.
games.
Yeah, you
Matt
want to turn
definitely
your
knows
mind.
that.
You want to turn your mind off.
Yeah.
Right. You want to indulge in whatever you like to indulge in. Right. And then you gotta get in there and you start just just fucking around.
Yeah. Like Overwatch really tests you more for mechanics,
Yeah.
The FPS is nice. That's been my biggest struggle when streaming
Oh yeah,
Marvel Rivals.
especially
I'm just
streaming
like
it.
dropping frames. I'm just like, oh.
Yeah,
I
all
can't
of my
get
Marvel Rivals streams are my chat trying to like min-max my settings. Like I don't think anything's gonna fix this problem.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't think I need that for playing Doctor Strange, but still.
You're the reason our FPS is dropping on Strange. Every portal
'cause the
drops the
portal?
FPS 100.
Portals.
Dude, that has to be a
crashing people's
strat in
graphics
pro
cards.
Yeah.
display. You just drop the portal in like a crucial fight, and you make the enemy team drop frames. That has to be the strat.
Do you imagine the people who are trying to play that game and like a 2080? Like
Oh,
like
yeah.
a strange portal gets dropped and like
It's like,
they-
whoa!
it sounds like a car engine's probably just trying to rev up and start their PC.
we gotta get this hardware cool. We gotta keep it cool.
I think a
Crystal
2080
fast.
is below the minimum specs.
I think it is. Yeah.
Might be.
Really?
Yeah, that's wild.
Wow.
I'm
I have
joking,
like a
but that's what it
3080, I
feels
think.
like.
Yeah, it used to be good. Our hardware used to be good.
No, it's
Anyway,
like a 1080 for minimum.
Last thing apply before we get into OWCS. How do you like perks?
Oh, I love them. I think they're great. I've been asking for different ways to have different gameplay loops in the game. I think the only problem with perks for me is I don't think it's really made any of the bad heroes better. I think it just made the good heroes even better. So I feel like we're still seeing the same exact characters played. They're just stronger than ever. But I really do love a lot of the perks. I think they don't really change much in composition, but I think they change a lot in individual play. Like I think we're gonna see Tracers be more aggressive. I think Torbjorns can play a little different with the fucking turret on the wall. I think a lot of stuff is gonna be different.
It's what we noticed on the broadcast as well,
Yeah.
where it's like we're like, oh, maybe there'll be some new compositions. It's like, well, it just kind of actually makes the heroes that were strong like even stronger. Like Sojourn probably did need more ammo and 2 slides. Like she was probably
Kira didn't need 2 TPs.
Did not need two
yeah.
TPs,
Kriya doesn't need 2 TPs. Like Tracer doesn't need like all blinks permanently up at all times. Where like, yeah, I would I think like as a first pass, it's great. Like we talked about last week. I hope that they take some of the heroes that are kind of like bad and give them some really cool stuff that would like entice you to pick or play them in certain situations.
Yeah, I was talking to Custa about it, and he has a hand in all the perks and stuff now, and he said that they're definitely looking forward to changing. I know that he said that they're looking into changing Genji's already, because I think that's been a pretty underwhelming like perk selection for
really?
Genji. Yeah, I brought up
there's not a lot of choice. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I brought up I think a deflect cooldown reduction perk could be cool. Not deflect, a dash, a way to just get your dash back faster. He talked about maybe for melees, it could make your dash cooldown come back faster. Maybe not instantly, just so you have a reason to like weave melees into your combos. Maybe the amount of projectiles you deflect gives dash back. Just something a little better. Because right now, I think she's pretty useless.
They should
about
bring in
triple
that
jump?
one.
Yeah,
Are you gonna
triple
say
jump.
Avril? Double jump?
Triple
Triple
jump.
jump.
Triple jump. Oh.
Fucking
I was gonna
4
say, you know
jumps.
that clip that they always used to use for like PvE where like Genji's blade was like a projectile that he could shoot? Just bring that one in. Just let Genji just throw his blades across the map.
A range blade.
They're fire strikes.
Yeah, I mean that they're doing that in Stadium. Stadium gets really wonky.
Yeah, it does.
How far do you think they can push these perks to like change the gameplay loop? So, for example, AVRL, I saw a clip this past week where you made some pretty harsh comparisons between your Twitter engagement and getting immersed in your ranked games.
I want to be clear. First of all, it wasn't even ranked. It was quick play. Second of all, I say these things in jest for people that, so I don't know, people clip things and they put them on the internet.
They do.
You know what? Things that happen on my stream mostly it's 99%
But for
jokes.
those missing context, you essentially compared getting Mercy in your games to, some of the worst interactions you can have on the internet. And so I guess I kind of just wanted to borrow that and ask you, AVRL, like, could you see them using perks to like genuinely change a hero without touching the base design? So with that, like, could they introduce like high skill perks for Mercy, which is in general a pretty low skill hero, but are there ways you could like really change the abilities to make them high skill, like introduce some higher skill level?
You'd have to make her aim. You'd have to like have something where like, oh, you want to heal? For example, it's like, here's a trade-off. You lose your easy healing by locking onto a target. Now you can only heal by aiming, but it heals for more or something like that. It'd have to be something like that.
Yeah, I think Moira have that, right? Moira have that?
I always thought a resource meter for Mercy would be good. I hate that she has to damage boost like forever. I feel like you shouldn't be able to perma damage boost a hit scan. You have to like work for it, like damage a little bit and then damage boost or something.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what I'm looking for here. I think some of the heroes, like it's kind of ironic that, heroes that were already meta, like we're talking about Sojourn, Carry, they received some of the best perks. And then I think we're looking at some heroes like Sombra, where Sombra mates are like, there's scenarios where you don't even have to pick a major perk for Sombra because they're so bad.
I saw a Twitter post from like the Sombra community about how you might not want to pick a major perk sometimes. just leave it unchecked.
Yeah, I would say that's probably not the intent of the system. That it's better to just opt out of the system. Also, there's like, look, I mean, you're playing quick play AVRL, you're fucking in there, like whatever. Like, if people don't play Mercy, let them play Mercy. Like, there's some heroes that like, maybe don't need the highest skill gap. I imagine. I feel bad. I think Mercy will be at the top of a lot of people's ban lists just off of the fact that like, oh my god,
I hope so. That would be glorious.
If we have another Mercy Moira backline, I'm gonna go insane. So that's kind of where that'll come from. But I mean, look, maybe they use some of those like ban rates, right, to look at like, okay, we need to make Mercy like cooler, make it more fun, and adjust after that.
Here's a fun fact for the future in season 16. Because I play quick play, I actually can't ban Mercy. So I'm purposely subjecting myself to the torture. I'm here for it. Just a little bit of masochism every couple of days of the week,
Yeah, I actually tried it out. I can't talk to this topic because yesterday on stream I tried it out and Ashento was my Mercy and I played Pharah, so I actually had a Mercy duo. So I was like, I'll give this a go. I didn't really feel that bad about it. So, just seeing the other side of things. And it was quite entertaining. So, but I want to get into OWCS, and this episode is sponsored by FACEIT actually, so we'll do a fun little FACEIT FPL segment later on. But I want to cover NA and EMEA first. So, starting off with NA, we got the regional playoffs coming up. All the group stage is finally settled. Everyone's played 7 matches, and we got our seeds accordingly. The big problem, I guess, for this episode is that we don't know who the number 1 seed has picked yet because it's not updated on Wikipedia. I believe it has been submitted, but it hasn't been confirmed publicly yet. So that complicates things. But we can make some guesses.
They had 24 hours, I believe, to submit post-match.
Exactly. So it's been 24 hours.
Yep. Yeah, it's been 24 hours. So they know. We don't know. The last day of NA, I just want to like hit on that for a sec. We saw all these top 4 teams play. It was like we hyped it up like this is going to be such an incredible day, and it was kind of
I did the same thing for my stream.
Dude, we were so hyped for this day, and then it was just like kind of slams where I was like, man, this kind of a little bit underwhelming, but it's awesome to see that Nightmare and SSG kind of separate themselves. I think it raises a bunch of questions about TL. Like we obviously know they're good, but against the top teams, right? Team Liquid beats SSG 3-2, so a map 5, and then they get 3-0'd by Timeless and 3-0'd by Nightmare. So it's like they're kind of just getting by against these. They're not really getting by. They just got by one of the top 4. So raises a lot of questions with them going into playoffs.
Yeah, I think we can assume that it'll probably be a rematch for playoffs. I think SSG will probably choose Timeless again, just because they got an easy 3-1, and then Team Liquid will go straight to Nightmare. I don't see them switching it up. I don't know why Nightmare would or SSG would pick anyone else other than Timeless.
Yeah, especially because SSG, they got beat by Team Liquid, right?
Yeah.
And that was in week 1. It was a 5-mapper. So that was quite a while ago. Maybe you figured out, maybe you changed your bans a little bit, stuff like that, right? But it does feel like Space Station have a good matchup against Timeless. So I'm expecting that. In general, I mean, Nightmare beating Liquid 3-0. How do we feel about Nightmare? Do we think that they could go far this regional playoffs?
Oh yeah, I think so. I definitely think so. I do think Team Liquid is I don't think it's a roster problem at all. Obviously, have been harping on Vega not playing as well lately, but I don't really think that's all it is. I do think they're very stubborn in their compositions. I know people say that Infected's ball is like amazing, and I agree with that, but I would like them to see play more Winston a little bit. I mean, RuPaul's Ana play is amazing, and I think pairing that with the Winston would help them a lot more. It seemed like they were so stuck on the ball comp in that match.
And it seems like whenever they get forced off of the ball, at least in that match, it's a lot more even. Like the ball comp for them works really well, but like when the other team, Nightmare is actually able to stop the ball comp and force them onto like Sigma mirrors or Risa mirrors, like Ramatra. And then it was like all Nightmare from that point, where Nightmare seemed like the strategy was like, okay, we can stop the ball and force them onto any other situation. Like we feel really good.
Right.
Yeah, I'd like to see them play like more, Ana in Winston and things like that. They can definitely do it. It just seems like they have this, they just really want to like fall back to the wrecking ball. But when it doesn't work, it looks kind of ugly.
Right. That makes me think that that's really what they're working on in scrims, is like the ball comp. And that means the word is spreading. And teams are like, okay, if we can get them off this ball comp, then we'll have an advantage on it.
Yeah. It also sounded like, I don't know if you guys heard the interview after. We interviewed Zero after.
Yeah.
And he was, we were like, hey, say something nice about Timeless. Like, you need them to win. And he was just like, yeah, we're sorry we beat the shit out of you this week in Scrim. So it sounds like Nightmare's
good
just
luck.
Yeah, I was like, man, they're not really sending a lot of positive vibes that way. But
I like the confidence from him.
It sounds like Nightmare's, though, kind of cleaning it up.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be very interesting because all the top 4 teams, they played each other really closely so far this group stage. And only the top 2 make it to our first event, which is in Hangzhou, China. So, I mean, the next 2 weeks is going to be an absolute brawl. Yeah. So, I wanted to make some bracket predictions. I don't know if we have those ready, Solomon. Solomon is always cooked. You love to see it. And so we actually have, oh my God, Solomon is so goated that they've introduced a way to pick the seed. So we can select SSG picks Timeless here. I mean, this is just, there's really no better producer.
Technology live on stream.
Yeah, it's amazing, really. It's amazing. Look at that. That's beautiful. And so while we're doing this bracket, we can talk about the teams. We can talk about the region and what we think. Obviously, we have Avidity and Rad waiting in the lower bracket there as well. Yeah. But with the way things went this past week, would you guys change anything in these matchups between Space Station and Timeless and Nightmare and Team Liquid?
I'd imagine Liquid puts up a better fight than just getting 3-0.
I think so. I think so. I mean, I feel like they could learn a lot from that match. They could change up so many things. I feel like, honestly, I saw the tweet that said from Vegas saying, "Get me off the Lucio."
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't really think that's a bad idea. I think they could play more heavy backline comps, like I said, with the like Ana Brig or something like that with a Winston or even the ball. Like Lucio has not been their strong suit.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
They tried on Zen a bunch of times.
They did, yeah. They tried Zen, yeah.
Yeah, they tried. I feel like this is one of those teams that, kind of is similar to Toronto Defiant. Like they don't have someone, obviously, but Infected should fill that role. And that was a team that really, prided themselves on their flexibility, being able to play double flex support, being able to play the Ana Brig, Winston, stuff like that, right? So I feel like you could probably replicate that. Obviously, Infected is no someone, but Infected is almost to that high level.
The advantages of having a flex tank is that you can play all these type of comps on all these type of maps.
Exactly.
I feel like they're becoming a very predictable team because of what they're playing.
Right. So I guess we're... so what are we doing here for rounds? Or maps, rather? What are we doing? Space Station, Timeless? How do we think this matchup kind of unfolds?
I think this one could be like an almost mirror type of run back. I think this could be like a 3-1 for SSG yet again. Yeah. And we just talked about Liquid, right? And one of the things that obviously they had last year was like Sugar Free and Merit for like Toronto Defiant, right? That is a sick lineup where I know Tree has been really good, but like, I think maybe the Tracer gap and even Genji and other heroes between Sugar Free and Knife might be pretty big in terms of the gap right now. I really like Seeker and Sugar Free DPS duo. I think it's really fun. I think they can definitely kind of handle Timeless in a 3-1, maybe 3-2 type of fashion again.
Yeah. 3-1. Do we want to pencil it in? What do you think, AVRL?
This is not the game that I think will flip. I think the game that is more likely to flip is a Liquid Nightmare game. If any of these do. Yeah. No, I think Space Station at this stage is looking like, generally speaking, a much better team than.
Are we
Timeless.
feeling good enough to predict Nightmare again, or are we gonna give Liquid benefit of the doubt?
I think Liquid will do better than a 3-0.
Yeah, I think so as well. I would still actually just take Nightmare though.
Mm-hmm.
Nightmare
I think
Liquid
looking at
or
the
something.
series-
gonna have edge.
I mean, it is 2-0 Nepal. Havana, Nightmare ends up winning it. Like, it's really close, like by the gate. And then Blizzard World, it was a full rundown from Nightmare, and then TL didn't even get first point. So like,
Yeah.
there's a 3-0, and then there's like a stomp. Like, this one felt like a little bit of like a gap between these teams, where I don't think you're going to see that again. I think
Ultraviolet
you'll
was
see.
pounding on the Ana.
Yeah, I think you're going to see like a 3-0, 3-1, 3-2. I think Nightmare still has the ability to take it out though.
Yeah.
I like the idea of a lower bracket run here for Team Liquid maybe, but Nightmare obviously they look great this past weekend, which takes us to the lower bracket. So teams we haven't talked about yet. We got Avidity there, taking on Timeless. Now this to me has been kind of like a dark horse team to me. I've been pretty impressed with this team overall. They also like playing the wrecking ball as well. You got Pella as your tank there, but then they also can flex over to some of the brawl compositions with Twos. Wub, any Wub heads out there? Anyone who thinks that Ability can perhaps go for a bit of an upset here against Timeless? Or do you think that this region is just firmly like, there's the top 4, and then there's the 5th and 6th teams? It's a big gap there.
Yeah, there's a pretty big gap. I mean, I think there's always a possibility for an upset. I think, especially at 5v5 and new perks, you never know what's going on. And especially the team who's going to play Avidity? Is it?
It would be
It's gonna
Timeless. in this
Be
situation.
Timeless. Who knows, man? Maybe they're tilted from the upper bracket run. Maybe Avidity can make an upset.
If there is a team that makes an upset in the lower bracket, it's Avidity.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's we were kind of high on Rad Esports a little bit earlier in the season, and I think now we've kind of fallen all the way off on Rad. Where Avidity, if there is an upset, it's there, and if it is something that happens, it's like really close. Like Avidity took a map off of Timeless the last time they played. It went to the final round on Control. They ended up taking that, but the other maps, Esperanza in that series, not one a lot of us would like to remember. 142 meters to 19. That was
We've seen a lot of that lately, I feel like.
Bro, push lately, it's been just like
Yeah.
Cap outs, huh?
Bro, it's hard to cast sometimes. Like, one team's up like 100 meters and there's still like 8 minutes to go. I'm like, what the fuck are we talking about? Like,
How did I get back into this game?
yeah.
Well,
I was like, well, they won 3 fights and they're back at mid map. So now they
Yeah,
just need to win
that's the worst.
9 more. Yeah. I think Avidity, they have an outside chance. I don't see
For
it,
bracket
world.
accuracy, I got to go with Timeless on this one still.
Yeah. Oh, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, there's
Yeah.
there's no shot. You'd be off the goob if you're taking Avidity here.
Johnny, when you said, do we think in NA there's a solid top 4 and then a 5th and 6th? My thoughts immediately went to, well, you did interview Wub and you told him they were solidly 5th, so I was like,
Yeah, you did say that.
Bro, you guys have locked down 5th. How does that feel?
How does it feel?
okay, again, like the wording might have been off, but I still stand by what I said. I was like, you're the
It's so
dark
funny.
horse, like
Yeah,
you're punching
it's funny.
up, like you can take it to some of these top teams. I think they're the team that has an outside chance of like beating some of these top 4
And
teams.
sometimes we
I agree.
forget that Johnny's first language is in English. So, like, he's just kind of learning.
I stand by what I said, okay? Maybe it didn't come across well. Maybe people will hold that against me.
I'm just poking fun, Johnny.
Nah.
Don't
Yeah,
mind me. I'm
I
just
know.
poking fun.
But was there anything wrong in what I said? What was wrong about it?
I mean, you were correct technically.
See?
Yes.
See?
Yeah, I mean, well, when the other 3 teams below them have won a combination of 3 games, yeah, I mean, you've definitely locked it down. I mean,
Come on. Wub is a reasonable guy, okay? Like,
yeah.
Like, Wub understand
Been
where I
around
was
for a
coming
while,
from.
he
He was
gets it.
also poking fun at me, and I'll take the
Yeah.
fun. We're bantering.
Look.
But I was right.
Yeah.
So yeah,
No,
they are the solid. They are the solid top of this lower half. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, God. All right. Onwards to the bracket. Next up, we got Rad against Team Liquid. And I feel like Rad, another team that likes playing Painkiller, their tank on these kind of like brawl compositions, right? I have been impressed by their damage duo. I feel like Chronic has been lights out on some of the hit scan heroes and played really well, which is kind of what you need in this region because there are so many great hit scan players who win some of these fights with overclocks or early picks and whatnot. And then King as well, who we know has a fantastic Genji, and Genji is a strong hero right now as well, right? So I feel like Rad is a team that, again, looking in from the outside, kind of, but I feel like this is, like a really tough matchup against Liquid.
Yeah, I got Liquid on this one too.
Yeah, they're gonna get stomped.
Okay, well, to the next one.
Well, if you think about it, like Rad, they 3-0 Shikigami in their first game of the season, and I believe Liquidpedia's off by 1, but they 3-0 Shikigami, and then their map count the rest of the way is 1-19.
Sheesh.
So I think there's a trend here. Well, I think whoever loses that match, we just sacrifice Rad too. But I do like some of their players. It just seems like individually they seem pretty talented, and especially like Chronic and whatnot. But it just seems like a team. It's just not coming together.
It's a tough region.
Yeah,
it's a tough region. It's a lot of great talent at the top teams there. So hard to compete. And then anyway, let's move on. We got Space Station and Nightmare in the upper bracket, which is a pretty interesting matchup. Curious how you guys think this one will go. I'm trying to find, what was the last match? When did the last
This was the first game of the season.
Yeah.
Well, the first on the first day.
Yeah, on the first day. Yeah.
SSG
won 3-1.
Yeah. I think Nightmare has gotten a lot better since that day. So I think it go anyway.
Yeah, I mean, call me crazy. My gut says like Nightmare here. I mean, these two teams I think are like really close in terms of, I mean, they basically finished with like an identical record and identical map differential. I do think though, to what you were saying, apply, I feel like, and it may just be because they 3-0 Team Liquid, just kind of thinking about it, but like it feels like Nightmare has been really good like the kind of second half here in NA. Feels like they're starting to hit their stride.
Yeah, and even the Zero interview too seems like they have the confidence to win this too. They don't think they're the underdog in this game.
Yeah, you don't talk like that unless you know some shit, right? Where you're just like,
especially bringing up scrims too. He feels confidence in things people aren't even seeing. So,
I mean, it's a crazy damage duo with Lethal and Zero, and it's what you need to compete. Ultraviolet, like I said, had a crazy game against Team Liquid, but I feel like this is also like Kuffa, like really starting to pop off this year.
His Sigma
as well.
has been amazing this season. Yeah, he's been great.
And I feel like before we kind of just knew Kuffa as like, the Winston player, and thinking back to some of his previous matches, but I feel like we've seen, broad compositions, we've seen Kuffa on Dive, we've seen Kuffa on Sigma, like really took it to Team Liquid on that Havana, right? So I feel like this is now, you put together like the damage line with the backline, and then you got Kuffa puffing off in tank. Like this is a really well-rounded team in Nightmare.
One of the things they really do that fucks with people as well is like Lethal actually plays a really good Sombra. Like they kind of have like a player who can play like Sojourn Ash Sombra, which like a lot of teams don't exactly have. Like Seeker can kind of do that too, where they definitely give teams trouble. Like if they're gonna play like Ball or they want to play like Dive, like they bring in the Sombra, and it's definitely a nuisance for other teams because I mean she's just annoying to deal with for a lot of people. So definitely something they kind of have in their back pocket. I feel like.
Yeah, it feels like Nightmare is really good at making the other team uncomfortable and getting them off what they want to play. Like you mentioned, Team Liquid like to play the ball. I think Nightmare did a good job at making them uncomfortable doing that. I think they could do the same thing at Space Station as well.
That being said, though, it is Space Station.
Yeah, I think the DPS lineup from Space Station hates me counting them out. Like I feel like you never know what's going to happen.
If Nightmare wins, I think this is like a 3-2.
Yeah.
But I could totally see I could see Space Station just like 3-0, 3-1. Like I think it's if Nightmare wins, it's not a blowout. It's a close game 5. I think if SSG wins, they can win anyway. Like if you told me this was a 3-0 SSG, I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, I really like what they cooked up with the Pharah Ana composition, where like on the Pharah, then you can do like a moving barrage, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Kellen has looked amazing on the Winston and the Wrecking Ball, of course. And then you got Sugar Free playing the Tracer and such, right? So I'm kind of going in Space Station with this one.
Yeah, I want to lean Space Station here too. But I think I don't think it's going to be a stomp either way.
This is like who's the better Winston team. I would be surprised if we see much out of that. I actually think the ball is starting to fall out of favor. Korea's playing a lot less ball now as well. I think the Sombra is still really good in the ball, obviously, which is something that Nightmare play well.
You know what fucks with the
I think-
ball as well? We talk about the perks a little bit. The groggy perk on Ana,
Yeah.
like the sleep and the slow.
Yeah,
Like,
that
It
does.
really
You can get
does.
that-
It fucks
does.
him up.
Yeah, you can get that bio on the ball right after, and like
Can't
the
roll
slow,
out.
he can't roll out. I mean, he's just dead. Yeah,
Because that was the problem, right? The few weeks prior to the perks, it's just like
he just rolls
people were
away.
just like, we'll just give up on the ball. Like you can't
Yeah.
kill the ball. There's no way to kill the ball. You can't trap them. But now you have the groggy perk. So some teams were like, we're just gonna use cage fight. We're gonna pick Mauga and lock the cage down to kill the breaking ball. But the grog is really powerful, yeah. So that's like an answer, and it also plays into like SSG, where CJ has been looked amazing on the honor as well.
Yeah, let's go
So-
SSG there. Let's go. SSG.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's go SSG there. Lower bracket, that also would mean that in all bracket SSG would qualify for China, of course. Then we got Timeless Team Liquid, which is an interesting matchup in the lower bracket because, again, on that first day, Team Liquid got 3-0'd by Timeless, but that was back in the Hazard meta.
Yeah.
Infected really struggled in that initial series, I felt like, and Timeless were just popping off. Chopper was playing amazing on the Soj. Squid had a great game as well. And so I feel like Team Liquid kind of got dominated, but it was in a different meta, right?
First game of the season,
Yeah.
completely different meta, and that series was, a 4-3 Route 66, a 4-3 Numbani, and then a 2-1 Samoa. It wasn't like, Timeless came in there and, beat the shit out of them. Like, it was
Yeah.
like back and forth. I would have to believe that Team Liquid, like, comes up with something besides just trying to play ball comms this weekend. Like, I would be shocked if that's like just their strat and they're just going to run it down. So I would believe that they come out. I mean, they're not going to get 3-0'd here. I
don't
believe
wanna
they can
go-
come down and take time.
I don't want to go into these playoffs predicting Team Liquid's going to play like they did the entire
Yeah.
Nightmare 3-0. I definitely believe they understand why they got smacked by Nightmare. And I think all of them are such great players. RuPaul, Tree, Infected, they have so much experience. I feel like they'll definitely be able to make some changes here going into playoffs. So yeah, I think I say Liquid for this one.
This is where they make the run back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you really want to overanalyze, I think Infected was playing some Winston on stream yesterday. So
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I was saying it in the game. I was saying that they're just forcing this ball, and I'm big on the Winston right now, especially because, like you said, the perks, the groggy. If you groggy the Winston, you can still bubble, stay in the bubble.
Yeah.
You don't even have to run right away. Also, Nano Winston target is a better target than Nano Ball. A lot of teams, when they play the ball, they Nano the dry Genji, and it doesn't get value very often. But I feel like Nano Winston always gets value.
yeah. All right, and then finally we got a rematch.
A rematch.
Nice
I mean,
mention.
this would be. We are predicting. I mean, Nightmare had already beaten Team Liquid.
Yeah.
Then we predicted them to beat you would be saying that they would beat Liquid in 2 weeks. They would beat TL 3 times. That's tough to do, I would say.
Yeah, the losing team always has an advantage there. I feel like when you lose to a team, like the next week, you make the better changes usually. The winning team usually thinks like, okay, we beat them, we're good, we'll probably beat them again. I feel like typically the losing team has an advantage here to make changes. So
This is also, I believe, this would actually be not this weekend coming up. It would be the weekend after, right? Because the playoffs are 2 weeks.
Yeah.
There's 2 weeks. Yeah.
yeah.
So you're basically saying in 3 weeks, every week Nightmare is getting a win over Team Liquid. Like Team Liquid has like a full coaching staff, like they have an
Yeah.
analyst. Like you'd imagine they'd figure something by then, right? I mean,
Yeah. Like Reinforced said, Infect is already practicing the Winston on stream. Who knows what they're pulling
he's
out?
essentially got a month. to
Yeah,
figure it out.
yeah, exactly.
I gotta double check. So I don't spread propaganda here.
Pulling up his stream, but he's on ball only.
Yeah.
He just lied.
Yeah, he just
All of his play times on ball.
One tricking ball.
Zoops.
Yeah, he's playing the thing.
He's on rivals.
Yeah, he's working on his Venom.
He's playing the
Yeah, he's practicing his dives on Venom.
Oh, that took me a second. Okay, I'm seeing some ball. I'm seeing some Orisa, some Sigma. No, okay, I saw one game of Winston. I thought, okay,
All right, yeah.
a few games of Winston. Okay, there were a few games of Winston there. So
Does
there we
anyone?
go.
I mean, look, I'm high on Nightmare. 3 straight wins though against Liquid. I mean, I don't know. Maybe
I
it's
kind
just
of,
me. I think
dude,
it's
it
hard
would
to
be
do.
such an Overwatch thing to happen, though. I know this is pure paranoia, but I'm like, Team Liquid, going into the stage, being crowned as like, oh, this will be the best team. At least that's what I said. Big partner team. Then they get eliminated by my dog. I have to go sign for a package, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But I could see Nightmare winning. I'll say that. And then I'll go sign for this package.
And this would also be a match that would qualify for China, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How do we think land's gonna
It'd be
affect
crazy
these
if
teams?
it'd be crazy if Nightmare qualified for China, beating the partner team,
Oh yeah,
the on paper best team in
beating
NA
them
on
three
paper.
times in a
three
row.
times in a row too.
The thing is, I can see it happening. I could see it happening.
I could.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that we've heard, like a lot of we heard, I think it was actually Lethal from Nightmare in an interview mentioned that like the ball comp seemed like a little bit of a crutch for teams that didn't have a great communication and flow between the front line and the back line. And if you've been relying on that, right, and kind of putting that off, making sure you kind of have everything sorted, that could take some time. I just have a tough time picking against Team Liquid 3 times in a row. Like,
all right, I wasn't going to disrespect Nightmare. I have no idea what you guys said, but I could have gone Nightmare here and not been upset about it.
I mean, I don't think we can be upset about any of these decisions. All four of these teams have been great, but I agree with Matt. I don't know. Team Liquid losing 3 times in 3 weeks, are we saying they're making no adjustments? No changes. They're not going to improve.
You're telling me they're going to lose 9 maps to Nightmare in like 2 weeks? Like, bro, if that's the case, if that's the case, I mean, Team Liquid got a lot.
They're confident. When a team is really confident, they know their style. You don't want to bet against them.
You're right.
I mean, that is true. Like, if Nightmare beats them the second time, like you're chilling going into this.
Okay, if Liquid wins the first match in the first round, then I'm not feeling good about the rematch.
Yeah.
If Nightmare wins,
give me whoever. Yeah, I'll take whoever wins the first match in this one.
Analysis. Love that. AVRL, who do you go for? You need some help.
You break the tie
You're
out.
the tiebreaker.
My heart says Nightmare. It does. I think it would make sense if Liquid really improved and came back and did this insane low bracket run. But I'm just getting, I don't know, man. I feel good about Nightmare in this one.
I could see it.
Could see it too.
Maybe going to China.
This is a pretty big coin flip. I think this is a pretty big coin flip.
It is a pretty big.
Why? Have you ever been to China?
No.
You should go.
I'll pull up. I'll be there.
You should go get the co-streams out there.
When are you getting your featured co-streamer?
I was a featured co-streamer on Sunday, but there too though. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think Rack said he was like, "Yo, send me to China."
Yeah,
I'd be down to go. I'll hit him up.
Yeah, all right.
You got to become the official co-streamer for Nightmare, and then have them. Send you to China.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Well, there you go. That's our bracket for North America.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah. Once again, Plat Chat. We don't keep things super straightforward. The basic thing would have been to be like SSG, Liquid. They're fine. But I feel like this is a pretty accurate representation of the region right now. All right. Do you guys want to talk about EMEA a little bit, and then we can do our FPL teams?
Let's do it.
As well. So over in the EMEA region, talk about a stage 1 that didn't go the way I thought it would going into it.
Yeah.
Virtus Pro went undefeated. They went 7-0. They only dropped 3 maps in the entire stage. They've been super impressive. Team Peps got second, going 5-2. Genji, Alcazia, and then Twisted Minds and the Ultimates 5th and 6th, with the Ultimates going 2-5.
Yeah.
Which you can't say anything other than pretty underwhelming considering the roster going into it. You thought that they'd be, one of the top contenders in the region.
Yeah.
Apply, have you been following EMEA closely?
Yeah, I have. And I was just thinking, like, we've all been in the scene for a while. I've been watching a lot of Overwatch. Why do you guys think the Ultimates is, what's going on? I feel like every time we've seen Kevster and Kai on a roster, it's never been bad. Especially you had Twilight in there. I mean, what's going on? What do you guys think?
When that roster got announced, I was like, they're going to be fucking sweet.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
They're
like
number 1.
Yeah. I mean, when you have Kai and Kevster, there's or at least like in the past, right? It seems like there's just like a floor, right? Like you're not going to be worse with those players than like, 4th, right? Like, they just kind of, they dropped the ball a little bit. I was a bit surprised because, how talented the roster is. I mean, 2 wins, especially when, I know Sakura Esports is just like a pinata. I mean, everybody's just beating the hell out of them. And then Vision, I mean, they win one game, right? Just against Sakura. I mean, 2 wins is just. I mean, they even dropped the map to Sakura.
Yeah. I mean, is it a synergy issue? Do we think it's like, I mean, maybe something's going on inside the team? Are they not communicating? Because just based off names, there's no way they should be playing this bad. There's no way.
Wow. I mean, just off of names, you would just off of their individual skill, you'd expect 3 wins, right?
Yeah.
I mean, OWCS can come away with 4, right?
Yeah. From watching the game, I think I've been happiest with Twilight's, gameplay. I feel like he's been playing great on the Ana for them. I feel like when they look their best is when he's on the Ana playing aggressively with the nades.
And they kind of tried to integrate Twilight like pretty late into the stage as well. Because I'm pretty sure he was unavailable to start off. He wasn't.
Yeah, I think they've played a lot better since he's been on the team. So maybe they just need a couple more reps with Twilight on the roster. Maybe they're still feeling that out.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of like thinking back, like over the weeks, just from like general thoughts from like the matches over the weeks. Like the biggest thing that stood out to me was just like I think that the tanks have been struggling a little bit, and I think it's like a bit of a coordination issue sometimes where like you see KSA is like committing and like maybe Kevster isn't there to like follow up on it.
Yeah,
back when they were playing like the Ram Tracer compositions with like the Juno Speed Ring, like some of the engagements were off there. It's like quite a popular opinion these days that Kai, isn't perhaps performing the way that Kai used to, being this standout hit scan player, right? But, once in a while, like Kai lights it up. I think Chase has been using the ball a lot, but like you guys said, that Chase is kind of, the ball is kind of like fading away from the meta, especially with the groggy perk, right? But you can see on some of these maps, like, I was casting it with Jake, and like they're trying to set up on Legion Tower Garden with this Wrecking Ball, and they had against Twisted Minds, and then they had similar issues on that same stage, I think, in their previous matchup. I can't quite remember what team, but it's like Chase is taking like a ton of poke damage, like going into the fight. They can't like set up the dive. They're not on the same page, and so obviously there are people in the scene who have more intimate knowledge of like why the team might be struggling. But just for me, it just seems like a bit of a coordination issue. And then, you're integrating Twilight pretty late. You're playing Wrecking Ball compositions, which are fading out of the meta. And it just doesn't feel like they're, putting their best foot
Even
forward.
with how bad they played, though, like, I wouldn't want to see them in around, 1 and 1.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, it's like, what? Kai starts clicking heads, and then, they get a little bit better coordination. Twilight starts to,
Kevster is still Kevster.
Like
I'm not gonna say that Kevster is this like flawless individual, because sometimes it comes across like I'm saying that. But like Kevster still comes up clutch at times. But it's not like Kevster is just like lighting it up, and all the the rest of the team is like I do think it's like a bit of a coordination issue, and then you're integrating people mid stage, and then the meta is all over the place. It's like I genuinely think there are some like excuses to be made that it's been a bit of a chaotic stage 1 for this team.
Yeah,
and they haven't really clicked.
It could be a regular season motivation issue. I used to be on a team with Kai. I was around him for like a year and a half on Valiant.
KSP.
And he is the type of player that he needs to be like motivated. He's a very chill guy. I think when he runs into like problems is when he plays his best. So I feel like maybe now in playoffs, his star will shine through, because I feel like he's still playing good. He's not a bad hit scan player at all, like throughout this whole season. I think his like X factor has been missing for a couple games, but I feel like he'll definitely get back to that in the playoffs.
Well, especially because they're in losers, right? So you don't have the kind of safety of that second potential game in your back pocket. So like if you expected them to show up, like if they lose in first round of losers and it's like kind of like a drubbing, like I would feel pretty bad about it. I think they're going to put up a better fight than what we've seen. I'm actually, pleasantly surprised, right, with Peps. I mean, the French have been bragging about Overwatch. I mean, for since the beginning of time.
I'm happy for the French.
I saw Soon play a map. I didn't know what year I was in.
Yeah, I mean, they actually showed up. I mean, they obviously played extremely well throughout the stage. And to see them get second, I mean, that is like, out of all of the teams, I would have said like, obviously VP I would have said is in the top 2, but then after that, it would have been like Gen G, Twisted Minds, like they would have been like, the 5th team I would have expected to kind of get in there, but a very good stage.
Can we do a bit of an exercise here? I just want to see how you guys react to this, but I want to see. I want to rank the hit scan players like real quick here, and we can just kind of see like where it kind of like how our list looks like. So we talked about the ultimates. So I'll just ask, like, how many hitscan players would you take over Kai? So if we just start off like with VP, Shockwave, put on fire. You'd probably take Shockwave over Kai and playing dominant. You got Quartz, Top Dragon has been playing some amazing games as well.
Has Top Dragon been the main hit scan, or has it been Sauna actually?
I believe I saw Top Dragon on some hit scan picks as well. Because Sauna sometimes play the Tracer. They've been flexing around, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
right?
they're a really flexible team. Yeah,
they are a really flexible team. Yeah, but Exodial has been lights out for Pips as well.
I've been big on Exodial since he came on the scene. To be honest, I think he's a great player.
He was nuts last year.
Yeah.
I would pick Exodial, Quartz, and Shockwave over Kai.
Yeah, right now. Yeah.
Off the bat, yeah.
I'm kind of looking like at the Alcadzia matchup where I'm like, Labda, like I'd probably want Kai over Labda playing like a Sojourn, something like that, right? But I think it kind of just goes to show, like, the point of the exercise is just that, like, there are so many great damage players in the scene, both in NA and EMEA, that it's generally no surprise when like one team just like lights up the server and Exodial is like popping off and like taking over the game on Sojourn or something like that, right? So I don't think it's a huge surprise by any means. But yeah, I kind of disrupted the conversation we were going there. Do you guys want to get to ranking some teams here? Do you guys have any other thoughts on some of the teams here? Like Twisted Minds have been struggling too. I don't know, Apply, what do you think about Twisted Minds and some of their struggles so far?
Honestly, I think I don't really know where their struggles come from. Honestly, I think their roster is pretty good. I like them to play Hottie more. I know it's a hero pool thing, but I think Hottie's a great leader. I mean, we've seen Hottie throughout the years bring teams or people expected to do worse to way higher levels. And I think through his comms and, just being a leader, I want him to play more. But I'm a big Hottie guy, so I might be biased.
Yeah, I feel like also this has been something we've been asking for a while. Like, oh, imagine if you surrounded Quartz with like, better players or whatnot, right? And then you kind of like finally get it, and it hasn't been as good. But I think this is a little bit like the ultimate situation where maybe they need some time to gel, like the hero pools. I mean, this stage is kind of wild, right? I mean, we started off with Hazard, then we went to Wrecking Ball, now Perks came in, right? It's a little bit all over the place where I know maybe they haven't adjusted to it the best. But I do think there's a ton of upside with this roster for the long term.
It's a weird one because they beat Peps but lost to Alcadzia. And it's one of those situations where like Peps still ended up coming second. You would have just thought it's been a kind of topsy-turvy kind of regular season here.
EMEA, I think 2 through 6 could like end up beating each other.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
Yeah.
I think any of those games like 2 through 6 are like legitimate, like close, good games. Any of those teams play Virtus Pro though, and my God, I mean that team is just.
VP beat Katsuya 3-2. It was a close one that game.
Yeah.
I expect. Who do we think VP is gonna pick here in their first round? I mean, I would assume not Katsuya after the 3-2. That might have shook them up a little bit.
Yeah, but they kind of said that they were playing bad too. I think they were like, they looked at that match and were like, we kind of like messed this match up.
That is true.
Gen.G was their first game of the season. They end up actually the only maps they dropped the entire stage were to Alcadzia and Gen.G. so they have to pick out of those two.
This might be a hot take, but I would actually take Alcadzia, I think. Even though you went to a 5-map series, I think that VP or as such, they kind of like feel like they beefed that match and they would beat them pretty confidently in a rematch. Because like Gen.G, I think G&G is like a scary team. Like, I don't want to like go up against Sauna Top Dragon, Mag, if play like some Winston or something like that. Like, it's just a scary team to go up against. I feel like Alcadzia is the more reasonable pick here. Like, I'd feel more confident if I was VP going up against Alcadzia. It's like, okay, we had a bad match, but sometimes that can haunt you. Like, if you have like a team that matches up against you well, and then you struggle against that team, it can kind of be like Apply. I don't know if I'm just like saying some witch shit here, like just making stuff up. But like, if you perform badly against a team, you kind of have like a mental barrier against that team. We're just like, oh, you struggle against this team, and then you're like, oh, we need to figure it out. Like, you don't play your most confident game because you feel like you struggle against them.
Honestly, even in scrims, like a lot of people say like scrims don't matter, and they definitely don't at the end of the day. How you play in official games what matters. But if you scrim a team and mentally you're struggling against them, that still is on your mind while you're playing. So I'm not sure who they'll pick. I mean, I think I agree with you. I think Katsuya is the easy pick here, But I guess I don't know how it really affected their team. Maybe they think it did affect them and they want to play them later on in the line and they'll pick Gen G. Who would you pick here?
I would probably go Alcatia because
Yeah.
even though it's just a close series, at least you've seen them like recently, like as of this week, where you can actually make adjustments. Where Gen G, you haven't seen them essentially in like almost 2 metas at this point,
Yeah.
right? So
You don't
it's
know
like,
what they're gonna do.
yeah, I feel a little bit more comfortable just kind of going
Yeah.
against what you know than kind of stepping into the darkness.
All right, let's make some picks here. So, it seems like we're in agreement that we'll have VP pick Alcatia here.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Peps will fall, get Gen G on the other end here. So, starting things off, Virtus Pro, been the most dominant team in the region so far. Don't think anyone bets against Virtus Pro in this match.
I got
push them
that.
all the way to the end. Push them to the
All the
end.
way to the end.
just move them to the end.
I've just been loving how they've been.
Are they
playing.
the only EU team, or are all the EU teams in a team house? I know VP's in a team house.
That's a great question, actually.
That
Why don't I-
that goes a long way.
Surely
I,
Gen G would be. You'd think.
I haven't seen anything about it, but they might be.
Why do I think somebody said that Gen G has like an office or base like in like a Riyadh or Saudi, and like potentially the players are there, but I might be wrong on that.
Yeah, that was off
Um,
topic. But I'm just saying that goes a long way with teamwork. I mean, it
does.
shows VP being 7-0.
Yeah, just being in the same place and like going to dinners together and
Yeah.
like hanging out at the games, chatting
Helps
about
a lot.
ideas, VOD review. Everyone's invested in the VOD review. You don't have someone in Discord who's like browsing Twitter or
Yeah.
like in the practice range at the same time. Like everyone's
In-
watching, paying attention.
Yeah, you're
In
held
this,
way more
like,
accountable.
Yeah, in this age of competitive Overwatch as well, I like the 5-player roster.
Mhm.
Like, there's no like, oh, we sub this like, no, you do. We're the 5 players, just figure it out, right? Like, I like the shorter roster than kind of how we see some other teams maybe have 7 players.
Yeah.
keep going.
Since 5v5 has started, I never minded DPS substitutions, but I really hate teams that have multiple tanks. I've always thought that the best teams have always been, if you can get one consistent tank player, and that's like your rock, I think it really helped.
No further evidence than London in season 1, where they had like a 90-person roster.
Oh,
As soon as they cut it down,
yeah.
as soon as they cut it down
Yeah.
to 6, they just
Let's
ran through
combine.
everybody.
Let's combine Kongdu and
Two teams
Tsubasa.
combined
Let's
together.
take 2 teams
Yeah.
and force them
Genius.
to be one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think still, I don't know if you disagree, but I still think, there are cases to be made in like certain like double like support matchups, or, I do think it makes sense. Like if you have like, KSA and Chase that like, they specialize on like pretty different compositions. I don't know if
Yeah.
you agree with me there.
But it really depends though. Like even with the KSA Chase situation, if one of those players is your vocal player and the next tank isn't vocal at all, even if you swap for that hero pool advantage, I feel like you're changing your playstyle way too much. I'm not saying I know that about them, but that's just like I feel like the scenarios that are happening in a lot of these teams where they might rely, like let's use Twisted Minds for example. I think if you put Hadi in for TVNT, I've done trials with Hadi. I've played with Hadi for a long time. He is usually the main caller for most teams, and I feel like having multiple tanks could really fuck that up for you.
Well, and then you're splitting scrim time.
Yeah,
right?
exactly,
You're trying to figure out how to
slowing down
dive with
synergy.
one tank versus another tank, right? It just like I feel like in this stage of Overwatch, like in competitive Overwatch, like it's not. When we had like 40 games or 30 games or whatever, right? Like you can have a deeper roster, you have more time. Like right now, right? You just kind of shotgun 6 games in, and whoever you perform there kind of determines it, right? You don't have a ton of time. You don't have 8-9 months to build this synergy with somebody or multiple people.
Yeah.
I think like even the 5-person rosters, like sure you may be limited in terms of like what you can do in terms of tank in certain situations, but I think just for team coordination and just synergy, it's probably you probably make up the difference on that end.
Yeah. Well, I feel like a team like VP, they've played to it and they've shown a lot of flexibility. I think they've used hero bans as a nice way to kind of like work around some of Vestola's limitations there and cater to Vestola. But Afixa, I think, has also stepped up in the main support role, being able to play some of these heroes like BAP, for example, and other heroes like that, to the point where VP, they do play double flex support sometimes. Gala's been playing some Illari as well. That we know Gala can do, of course. So they've still shown some flexibility with this 5-man roster, right? And it's been really important. So we'll take them over Alcatia. And then moving on, we got Team Peps here. against Gen G, which will be such an interesting matchup.
Yeah.
They did play, pretty recently. Peps beat them 3-1.
Mhm.
And so, kind of asking yourself, do you think Peps will run it back, beat Gen G 3-1?
I really don't know.
It's a tough.
That's a tough
game.
one. Yeah, I think I hate counting Gen G out. I really do.
Yeah, it's also one of those 3-1s that's like
Yeah.
it's like a final round of control. Route 66, they kind of blew him out, right? Suravasa as well, and then the push is decided by like 2 meters. So like, I would kind of, it feels so bad to pick against Peps, right? Because we're just kind of glazing them, but it's tough to pick against Gen G. It feels like with that roster, and then considering how close it was.
It just kind of sucks going against, Peps when Peps have had a great stage 1, and then you're gonna be like Debbie Downer, who just like, yeah, actually, Gen G, like you kind of like disregard what Peps have been able to achieve.
I think I would definitely I pick Peps for this. I mean, Gen G has been playing great. I mean, they did struggle against Ultimates, and we've been harping on Ultimates for a while. How they're not doing that great, and if Gen G's struggling against them, I don't know how they're gonna put up a fight against Peps.
Let's go Peps then.
Yeah.
What's the deal?
Okay,
With...
it honestly feels pretty bad. Like I kind of want to
go
go
Gen
This
Gen
is
G.
the French's one moment to rise up. So
That is true.
let's give the French a win here. Maybe they end up losing a little bit later.
What's Ice Nom's hero pool looking like? He's playing like a lot of Hazard and Sigma or something. I feel like
honestly, I think we've been seeing quite a few different heroes from Ice. Where it's like
I think we're heading into a Winston meta.
It's only about a Junkie Queen.
I think so too.
I think we're genuinely heading into Winston meta, and I trust Mag on the Winston meta. I don't know
if
what
Mag freaking plays the Winston and
that's
doesn't
the
play the
thing.
ball, or like
That's the
Doom.
problem. Yeah.
Yeah, but what's he playing all this Doom for? I don't understand.
He was stuck on Doom on Esperanza. People were like, what's happening?
That's a crusty cooking moment. That's a crusty crack pipe moment. I'm pretty sure.
It is.
Has to be.
No. I'm not gonna blame Krusty here. I think it's a Mag.
Who's choosing the comps?
Well, I think it's a mag pipe kind of question. We've been on mag about this forever. Like, don't you remember last year, like when Mag was on the runaway and he just like look Ryan and he'd be like, "Yo, what are you doing here?" Like Mag just kind of like picks zero sometimes, and you're like, "All right, just it's part of the Mag journey. It's part of the ride. Like when you get Mag,
a little bit.
You have to opt into the Mag experience, and sometimes that is locking Doom on the Esperanza.
I just think
getting bodied.
I think Gen G have not been playing their potential. Maybe I'm like hoping a little bit for them right now, but yeah, I don't know. I'm curious about why they choose to play some of the stuff they play. I think they have the capability to play way closer to what is considered current meta than maybe what Peps are doing. But this is like one of those. This is like that. It's almost like that nightmare TL situation. It's like, do Gen G, does this partner team make the comeback? Do they wake up? They change this. They change it around. Change the comp. Stop playing the ball. Mag ball. You know what? Too much mag ball. I've seen years of mag ball.
Years of mag ball.
I've yet to be impressed with any of the years I've seen mag ball. So
2020 Rookie of the Year prospect mag. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. I actually feel better about Peps as we talk about this. I don't want to visit the mag experience.
We should probably We'll pick Peps, but
we'll pick Peps. We'll give it to the Frenchman.
But we'll say that. We'll say that we expect a lot better out of Gen G because I think they could play a lot better because
I think
playing some wacky stuff.
I love
right
the top dragon sauna damage duo. I think they're a lot of fun. But all right, onwards to the ever competitive lower bracket. Twisted Minds against Alcadzia. I know the first instinct will be here to just like look at the rosters and be like Twisted Minds. Yes, they struggled. They got 5th seed here. Actually, the same record as Alcadzia. But Alcadzia, they got the upper seed. End of the day, they were a better team in stage 1.
I would probably favor Twisted Minds, but Alcadzia with Checkmate and Lambda. I mean, these games in Europe are close.
They are, yeah.
Like North America, like you could blindly pick the bracket and be probably pretty good.
Yeah. Twisted Minds had a great game against the Ultimates on Sunday. They look really, really strong.
They looked really good.
Like very cohesive.
That was like a pretty dominant trio.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's the Ultimate sucking problem or if Twisted Minds has really started hitting their stride. But they looked really good. They look very together. They look strong.
I like that. I like that recency bias.
Yeah, I'm definitely
they
recency
were
biased.
strong. They were strong in that matchup. I actually agree with you. Yeah, I think they they look good starting from the series on Legion Tower Garden. They did.
Yeah.
Like the way they played like the Echo Tracer to start things off. Thought they were on the same page, and then the way they played the Sigma on Blizzard World to kind of counter what the Ultimates were trying to do on the ball. Yeah, I think they looked really solid actually. So I don't feel as bad going with the Twisted Minds pick here.
Yeah,
actually.
my gut says Twisted Minds, just off of like the rosters and then just like recent results, but just anything can happen down here in lower.
Yeah.
Anything can happen down here.
Literally.
AVRL, do you agree with us on the Twisted Minds pick?
Yeah, I feel better about TM, especially with the recent results. But
Yeah.
roster strength as
TVNT's
well is
Hazard,
so
by the
strong.
way, on Esperanza. Great walls. I love what TVNT was cooking on the Hazard on the Esperanza. Played really well there. Set up the rest of his team pretty well. So
What the fuck happens in this next game?
I don't know. I think this is a good one though. I like how this bracket worked out though.
I'm out on
Yeah.
Ultimates. They went 2-5. I'm out.
I'm actually on
Get me
Gen G
Gen G.
with this one. I'm actually on Gen G on this one as well.
This is
Yeah.
actually like the easiest
Yeah.
spread in the whole bracket.
Was
so
it
far.
3-2 last time though on Saturday? Gen G 3-2 Ultimates.
Yeah, but I'm out.
We talked that whole like 20 minutes about Ultimates is gonna get better in playoffs and
Yeah,
they're gonna lose.
You don't feel good about it. Come on, you don't feel good about it. You don't pred the Ultimates here and feel good
No,
about
you're
it.
right. You're right. I feel good about Gen G.
Yeah.
But I hate say Kevster's losing first round lower
Right,
bracket.
that's my thing. I'm like, I get like, yeah, if you asked me to pick, I would pick Gen G. I just feel like, man, Twilight, Kebster, like
Right, they have this
Kai-
whole week to practice more with
just
Twilight.
getting first rounded.
How old is Kevster? When can you start throwing an
Oh, can we
throwing around
say
ages
they're
here?
old?
23.
That
He
is-
was born in
Are we- we're
2001.
not-
He's
dude, we're not at the
23. It's
age
over.
conversation.
Pack it
Oh,
up.
He's a year
There's
younger
no
than me. Yeah,
shot.
he's done.
How old is Twilight? How old is Twilight? Like, come on, man. Come on, man.
God.
Born
27.
1998. He's 27.
47.
Oh yeah, it's
27.
over. That team loses.
I mean, yeah, I
No, but
guess
genuinely,
Gen
it was
G.
a close series. But if
It
we're
was.
just doing the exercise of predicting here, like the Ultimates, like you can be a the Ultimates fan and pred them, but overall, Gen G has been a better team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. Man, it just feels kind of shitty to send them
That
home,
does.
but
Yeah, I think we all had high hopes for Ultimates, and then we were all kind of disappointed. We all kind of like love this team, right? And then they went 2-5. That's the facts. So
yeah.
I'm going with Gen G. Any last words here for the Ultimates?
No, feel good
If
about
they come
Gen G.
out, they could come out and just Kai pops off, like you said, playoff scenario. But
Yeah.
maybe they've unlocked some
Playoff
new
guys.
perks.
If they lose, I hope it's just like close, right? Like just seeing them kind of go out and like a
If they lose 0-3, it's like, oh fuck,
That's
dude.
gonna be bad.
yeah, that would suck.
That's not good.
Matt, I hate to break it to you, but you're going to see Kevster and Reaper, and that's how they're going to lose out.
Kev's the Reaper.
Pro 2025.
What was that? That was that 2022 playoffs with the like gladiators. People were like, "Oh, Kevster can't play Reaper." What's that? I think that was it. Yeah, we were like in
That's,
Irvine. or
that
something.
is the reference,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
That's the
see,
reference.
there you go. Yeah, it feels bad, but I'm going Gen G here. I think it's a more reasonable pick here.
Yeah.
As we're making bracket preds. All right, upper bracket Virtus Pro against Team Peps. I mean, we're just sending Virtus Pro to the finals.
Yeah,
I think you
yeah,
gotta
I
keep
think
going
so.
VP, huh?
yeah.
Gotta keep
No
going.
convo.
Keep going.
Just keep moving.
There is a bit of a tier break, I feel like, between Virtus Pro and the rest.
Yeah, I
top
would say
teams.
so.
So, yeah, like you said, 2-6, right? You said everyone 2-6.
Yeah, it's not
teams
even
are-
just like stats biased. I think like just it's a feeling as well when you've been watching esports for a long time. They're a very confident team. They seem like they know they can win.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, with NA and EMEA, they're I think by far the best team even when you combine both
Yeah.
regions. Like,
Yeah.
you start to nail like how do they perform against some of the teams coming out of like Asia and whatnot.
Is Al Katsia the closest to beat VP this season? I think so, right?
Yeah, I mean, they dropped 3 maps and they took 2 of them.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
There you go. I don't know. I know it's cope, but I kind of just want to disregard that.
Yeah.
Result.
Yeah, we can disregard it. They were having a bad day. They woke up on
yeah.
the wrong side of the bed.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, Venture perks are pretty good. Wow.
They were playing.
What's this over there?
yo, check this shit out.
Whoa.
yeah.
But you know, Smash will look at that matchup and be like, okay, what are we cooking? Like, what are we doing to do with this? So
Yeah.
they'll have it figured out. They'll have it figured out. All right, Twisted Minds against Gen G then. Another great matchup. This region is going to deliver a banger playoffs.
Yeah,
I can just
I
feel
think it's
it.
gonna be great.
If there was a team I think goes on a little bit of like a loser run, I would say it's TM.
TM?
With like, yeah, with like some of the damage shield players they got, right? Funny Ash Shahadi, like they got some vets. Like I feel like this is a team that like being down in losers is not gonna like shake them really that much. And it's weird. Like Gen G has a better record, but for some reason I feel like I trust Twisted Minds more.
Because their recent results are, you know, pretty convincing. They just look good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they did get kind of dominated 3-0 by VP, but you can't really blame them for that, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, they beat Peps 3-1. They beat Ultimates 3-0. And then, they beat Vision and Sakura, which is nothing to array about, but they've looked better as of recent. So they took their losses like early on in the stage, right? And then Twisted Minds have been improving. So yeah, Twisted Minds, a bit of a lower bracket run. I'm here for it.
I'm with
They
it.
also kind of somewhat like obviously it's recency bias, but this is the first week with the perks, right? So perks plus bans, and you probably like obviously
chaotic.
teams are still going to adjust after this, but this is probably the best week to kind of judge off of, right? And they get 2 3-0s this week, so
Yeah.
All right, I feel good about it. I don't have to
I mean,
opt
if you're
into the
going
mag
by
experience.
this, right?
No
TM
mag.
TM 3-0s ultimates, and then ultimates takes Gen G to game 5. So
Guys, you know what this means? This means Rack doesn't get to go to China.
oh shit.
Oh,
That's the
no.
real.
Oh,
that's
if
the real
Rack was on
part
this
that we
episode,
saw.
we'd definitely predict Gen G.
And they send
But-
him anyway.
Send them.
Send him
fuck it.
anyway.
Just a reporter.
Yeah.
Just a Gen G reporter live from
The
China.
Gen G hat and everything, not even there.
Yeah.
I mean, Hangzhou. I want to go to Hangzhou. Get some Szechuan food. Hell yeah. That sounds like a great thing. Matt's like so out of this. He's like,
Bro, if the flight wasn't so long, I'd be in. But
it is pretty
Man.
long. It's
hey,
pretty long.
if anyone
Especially
wants to
for
bring me
you,
out
yeah.
to China, business class, I'm there. Just hit me up.
I'm there.
Bang my line. I'll be there.
Okay. We got Team Peps and Twisted Minds in a match to qualify for China to go to Hangzhou. What do we got here? You know, the Twisted Minds lower bracket run. It
Kinda
feels
believe
spicy
it.
and good.
I like it.
It feels very Plat Chat-ish. Team Peps falls short at the finish line.
And this
Peps
is just
also
I
lost
can
to
see it.
TM week 2.
this is totally how we would do the French as well. We'd get them right there on the edge
Yeah.
of qualifying for a LAN, and then just have a team from losers just rip their heart
Get
out.
them all excited.
Yeah.
Well, you got
I've-
third. Can't be too upset. No, I'm well. I think. Damn, it's hard. It's
Yeah,
really tough.
I'm kind of juiced on this TM loser bracket run.
Yeah, I like this. This is a good
This
storyline.
feels like a vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, I
We're
like
predicting
it.
for
I
the
like this one.
storyline.
Yeah,
dude,
I
we
kinda
are.
like
This
it.
is good
Dude,
writing right
we
here.
might as well get some candles, fucking what are they called, tarot cards. Like, let's just get it all out there. Let's get some, we should honestly.
Story-
That's a
the-
great
the
bit.
story-
Actually,
Even though
we
Funny
should.
Astro didn't get us more beer when we were in Dallas, I'll still predict Twisted Minds here.
The FD God, Funny Astro battle to the death in this
Oh
match,
my
though.
God.
The Lucio
Oh,
battle
yeah.
should be good.
Wow.
I'm excited for that.
What's the over/under on Ajaxes for this match?
3.5 over?
Dude, that would be such. Well, yeah, that would be an amazing.
The
Betting
story's
line.
going to be good for this one. Twisted Minds, they barely went out against Peps. Yubi, he doesn't play, pops off on Twitter straight away. One tweet in Arabic, one tweet in French, rubs it straight in. Boom, we're going to China. And they lock it in.
It's a good story. I like
Lock
it.
it in.
I like it
He
in.
got Twisted Minds against Peps.
Yeah.
Twisted Minds to the lower background. But
Twisted
then you're like,
Minds.
oh, Twisted Minds beat Alcadzia, Genji, and Peps. Very reasonable.
Yeah.
Could have
Yeah.
totally
And
seen
then,
that.
do they have to play against VP, or can they just forfeit that one? Do they have to play?
Well, how much price money is the difference?
We have to watch that.
I'm looking up the prize pool here real quick. First place is 30 grand and second place is 20 grand.
The
So-
most
gotta win.
surprising
It's a
result.
match for 10 grand.
The most surprising result that could happen for both regions is VP not winning EMEA.
Yeah.
Like there's like 4 teams in NA that you told me like if the weekend goes right for them, I could kind of believe it. If you told me VP doesn't win EMEA, I'd be like, well, what happened? I'd be like, did somebody's
what?
internet die? Like, oh no, like
Not only should we watch it, Matt, but I think for the entire next week afterwards, we should replay that same game
I
just
agree.
on repeat for the entire week. OWCS, like the Twitch, should just non-stop play their game
Just
for the
keep
rest
it
of the week.
replaying till
For
the
5
China
days
event.
straight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No
And all the
rerun in the
breaks, all
title.
the breaks, let it stay in there. All
Why-
breaks
why-
stay in
why-
there as well.
We'll call it the road to China, and we'll just replay Virtus Pro Twisted Minds over and over again for
Honestly,
900
that's-
hours.
that's what we should do. We should just keep running reruns through the entire week on the Overwatch Esports channel. Max ads.
How about it?
Yeah,
Wow.
maybe that will go quite a way. Who knows? You have it on 365 days a year. There you go. Update drops every 3-4 days.
It drops.
That money goes straight to
There you go.
Microsoft. and-
23 minutes of ads an hour.
Yep.
Yeah. 23 minutes of ads. Max ads, maybe that could go a long way. Suddenly we were looking
That's
at like,
sponsorship money right there.
yeah, get a few extra matches in the regular season. Perfect. Slightly higher price pools. There you go. It's just an idea. Anyway, all right. So we got Twisted Minds making over Peps there. So we'll have Virtus Pro and Twisted Minds making it from EMEA, and we'll have SSG and Nightmare making it from North America. And there you go. That's our
That's
our
solid.
brackets there.
Hmm.
Yeah, I feel good about that. They
You
have
want
the
to do a
perfect
Korea real
amount.
quick?
Yeah, I don't know if Solomon has that button still. Plat Chat certified. But they have the
Guaranteed.
perfect amount of like not super straightforward. Like
Yeah.
we're putting some flavor on it. We're putting some spice on it.
It's a good amount of silliness.
Yeah, it's a good amount of silliness. So there you go. There's our bracket. All right. Well, like I said earlier in the day, this episode is sponsored by the FACEIT Pro League,
Yo.
which is kicking off very soon. They'll be running some playtests, as you might have seen on the Overwatch Esports channel. They've been announcing that some players are going to participate in the
I actually
FACEIT
got my
Pro League.
invite yesterday.
Yo, you
Yo!
got invited too?
Yo, let's go.
Can I get mine as well?
Bro, you're fucking diamond, dog.
I'm in there.
No, I was Masters yesterday for 2 games, and then I played with Jaws and I got demoted. But I was Masters 5 for like less than an hour there. I'm making it all the way back this season. I'm really glad they changed the rules, by the way. So there's more Grandmaster players. Maybe I'll make it back this season. But yeah, we're sponsored by FACEIT Pro League. This is obviously super exciting because it's something that people have been talking about for quite some time, even dating back to the Overwatch League days apply, where people tried to cook up these like organized custom lobbies. I'm pretty sure it wasn't allowed at some point. They didn't want players to like organize these lobbies. They wanted people to play the base game. But now it's returning in like more of an official manner, I'd say. And they got a great system going where you obviously can use the website to queue in here, and there will be some prizes and stuff like that on the line. So there'll be some incentive for these players to participate. But just you apply. Obviously, I think we have to recognize that Overwatch Ranked is really good compared to some other games. But still, the opportunity to just queue up in FPL and play with 10 players who I think with the system are going to be a bit more motivated to try because it'll be great practice for them, of course, compared to like your average ranked game, right? So this is a big thing coming to Overwatch, I feel like.
Yeah, not even just for the players, but the viewers as well. Like I grew up watching Counter-Strike Rank S and seeing like all my favorite like 10 pro players always playing like bullshit and hanging out, just playing games is a lot more fun than watching a random pro player queue ranked out of voice, just running it down. I think it's gonna allow for a lot, just better streams, better gameplay, and an overall a really fun experience.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome in Counter-Strike. And it kind of produced even a lot of like future pro players in CS. I'm excited for like how you mentioned, apply like the stream content that comes out of this. It can be quite boring, mundane to just kind of stream ranked into the abyss over and over again, where this is like, okay, there's money on the line. It's basically like all the top players and content creators and whatnot, like funneled into one queue, right? With money on the line. And it's consistent content, right? You can go live with it, whenever the FPL queue is open, and it's something that people can follow, get invested in. I think it's awesome for the scene. COD used to have like something, not official like FACEIT. It was like, just players would just get together, play money games, right? And that was like awesome content for people to stream. And I think this is going to kind of be the same type of thing.
Yeah,
There's
I think
a
it's very
prize pool.
exciting.
There's money.
Yeah, and I'm glad that it has more of a more serious structure. I know, Reinforce, you mentioned how a long time ago during the Overwatch League days, people sort of did these pickup games. But I remember a long time ago, if you guys remember Gig, he was on the LA Valiant.
Oh, yeah.
He used to during the draft phase, he would draft all of the tank players in queue, and so that none of the other teams could have tanks, and that's how he always won his games.
Oh my god.
He would just so his team would have 6 tank players, and then the other team would have like 6 supports. It was tragic. So I'm very excited for it to be a little bit better structured.
Yeah. They do have a draft system. Not quite sure what kind of draft system, how that involved, but obviously there will be map voting. There'll be hero bans as well, and so they're bringing some of these, pro systems into the lobbies of FPL, right? And so it'll be a bit more official than your average ranked game where you just get thrown into a map with a random team, and then you kind of have to play your heart out and hope for the best there. So yeah, there's actually a ton of players that are going to be invited to this. I think the numbers are like 130, 160 players per region. There'll be ways to get invited and get promoted to FPL as well if you haven't received your invite. They're trying to keep this pretty flexible to the point where if you are like a younger player who are up and coming, this could be, like we talked about, like a place where you actually can get some
players can also fall out of this too. Like if you're in FPL and you're just kind of shit in the bed, like, hey, we're getting you out of there. We're getting somebody else, somebody fresh in there. Start playing.
So to celebrate FPL, we're doing a bit of a segment here. We're actually going to draft our own individual FPL teams here. So Solomon, I'm pretty sure we got a little thing cooked up from last year. We did it for collegiate ones. And we can essentially, I think we'll do a bit of a snake draft here, where we get to draft one player each, and then we go back and forth to make it kind of even. Because some of these,
what are the rules? Do we have to pick a player from the regions? Are we import?
I would just go NA and EMEA because NA and EMEA are the regions, partaking in this. But obviously, Kellan is the tank versus G, so I think Kellan will be invited to FPL, right? I'm pretty sure I saw Kellan tweeted out that they weren't invited, but I'm pretty sure
they'll sort that out.
Yeah, we'll sort that out.
I'll make some calls.
Yeah. So Solomon, can I see here? Do we have just a little graphic? Okay. Solomon's working on it. Okay. So obviously, I think we'll keep it pretty standard. So 1 tank each, 2 damage players each, 2 support players each. We'll do a bit of a snake draft here. So apply.
Do the viewers get to vote on who's got the best team?
Yeah, we can do a poll. We can do a YouTube poll at the end of it.
Do a YouTube poll. We'll get the viewers to vote who has the best team.
Yeah. So I think I'm the host, so I'll go last. I'll take the 4th pick here. I think apply because you're the special guest here, so you get the first pick if you want. And then Matt and AVRL, 2 and 3. I don't know. Yeah, we'll go AVRL 2 and Matt, you get 3 as well. Because yeah. So there you go. So apply, tank, damage, support. You can pick between NA and EMEA. You can combine the regions. Who was your first pick in the Plat Chat FPL draft?
If you don't pick WUB, you're not a real one. Come on.
Oh, I'm not picking WUB.
Be honest right now.
WUB heads.
Not a WUB head. Confirm, not a WUB head.
Dude, if Johnny doesn't pick WUB, that's a bit of
my
I need to salvage some relationships here. So
my first round draft pick, I gotta go with Tree on DPS.
Oh, okay.
True.
I go with Tree. Do I get more or
no? You get one,
okay.
And then you don't get to just draft several players.
I know I'm the guest. I might pick 2.
He wants to pick so many.
He might fuck around.
I'm kind of surprised you picked 3 to begin with, but
you think so?
Not to begin with, but like the first pick was 3. Like I would have. Well, I'm not gonna reveal my strategy here, but okay, you picked 3. Yeah.
What?
I respect that. All right, AVRL, what do we got?
We're gonna keep it going. I'm gonna go infected. We're just gonna plunder Team Liquid first, because even though Team Liquid are sucking right now, even though they're really sucking right now, we're just gonna take the best parts individually, and then we'll see what happens. So I take infected.
I'm gonna opt not to select from Team Liquid. I'm gonna take Sugar Fruit.
Oh, good pick.
But he's Toronto, so like he's kind of adjacent to Team Liquid.
Toronto.
He's kind of linked. He's linked. He's linked.
Ooh, okay. So you picked Sugar Free. Oh, that was actually going to be my pick here in 4th. Okay, so I'm going to go. I actually am going to go with tank first because I just really want a solid tank to kind of like anchor my team, and so I'm actually going to go with Kellan from SSG. I feel like that will just be perfect. Like everyone will look at my team afterwards and be like, well, Johnny has Kellan. That's a great start.
At least he has Kellen.
Yeah, at least he has Kellan. And so that's just like a great start, and then you can kind of like fill in your damage support players afterwards. And I feel like it'll just be a great team no matter what because I got Kellan in my front line. And then because it's a snake draft, we're going all the way back. I'm going to select Shockwave as my 5th pick there. So I got Kellan and I got Shockwave on damage as well. I feel really good about that. And so then it's back to Matt, then Avron, then Apply.
I'm taking Quartz. You're telling me I can get Quartz and sugar free? Sign me the fuck up for that.
This guy's front loading his team. You see what he's doing?
So
he's fully front loading his team right now.
ignoring the tanks for the minute, just getting 2 damage players.
We'll get a bargain one down there.
Yeah, we'll find someone.
He's got to look for the bargain.
I'll look for
Find
trades.
somebody.
All right. My second pick.
Trades.
My second pick is going to be Gala.
All right.
All right,
Fucking
can you elaborate that for a second while we continue to cook on the production elements?
Because I think he is the most flexible support across probably both regions, and I think he's part of that success squad for VP. I think he's a strong player on that team. I think he's a little underrated. I think he's not like when you look at probably a lot of the support players, he's not like, wow, the superstar, holy shit, it's Shu from Crazy Raccoon. It's not that. But in terms of if I'm going to build a solid roster that can like last through different metas, and a guy that is just like super solid, plays a bunch of heroes, is proven on both main support and flex support, is part of a top tier team, legitimate top tier team in the region, can't go wrong with Gala.
Yeah, I actually kind of underestimated. I guess you gotta look. Oh, there we go. There we go. Solomon's cooked once again here. Gala with 2 ways.
Apply goes twice now.
Yeah, Apply goes twice. Yeah.
All right. Give me Kevster. So I have Tree and
There you
Kevster
go.
as my DPS lineup.
Oh my god.
That's not
How did I
front
not
loader.
go with
It's another
Kevster?
front loader.
That's pretty
Look at these
good.
front loading dudes.
Come on, man.
That's pretty good.
All these guys.
And then,
Imagine choosing the guy from the 6th place team. That's insane.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild, dude. That's wild.
And then for tank, you know what? I'm gonna say give me Vestola.
Fuck.
Give me Vestola.
Audibly?
Matt came out with that one. Matt was.
bro, I was gonna
Wow,
That
you
felt that
really
one,
wanted
that felt that one.
Vistola.
Yeah.
So I got
Ooh,
Tree,
Matt was-
Kevster, Vestola to start my roster off. I'm feeling happy about that.
Can I ask for some rules here? Are we following import rules?
Just
So,
pick
like,
a
Max-
Just pick a guy.
Just
Pick
pick up.
up.
Just pick up. It's FPL, bro.
Pick
They're all
somebody.
queuing up at the
Yeah,
same time.
Yeah, we're all queuing.
They're all
Okay.
queuing.
Okay, all right. Jesus, all right. I pick Fixer because I want the duo. I'm not done with
That's
just Gala.
solid.
Why don't I just
okay.
get the duo? Why don't I get both of them together? You know, that's part of the winning formula right there. Fixer and Gala together. Boom.
Oh boy. This is getting hard. Oh, we don't have.
See,
don't really have
we
any
got 2
support
front
players.
loaders here. I'm a back loader. I start from the back.
Oh,
I backload this
There's-
one.
You're gonna have no good players to pick from.
That's where you're wrong. Actually, there's a lot
Yeah.
left.
I'm gonna
There's
take
a lot
Funny
left.
Astro. I want Funny
Aw.
Astro.
That was my next pick.
Dude, Matt's learning. Matt's learning quick. See that? And he's like, "Fuck, I need some backliners."
Oh, so I get 2. Do I get 2 picks here? I honestly, oh boy. Wow, this got hard all of a sudden.
Crazy, huh?
Yeah, look, I'm taking this
Pick
way too
one, you
seriously.
coward.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to pick RuPaul.
Wow.
Fuck you.
That's yeah, I was thinking
You're
that.
ruining my plans.
Oh my god. Okay, RuPaul, and then I need a bit of a main support here. But I kind of want to be decently flexible as well here. I was kind of like thinking about drafting Faith for a second, but I'm like, okay, well, they're also 2 and 5, 6 team. Maybe I'll just go Bliss. No one picked Bliss yet, right?
No.
Mhm.
So
I was thinking about it.
Paul and Bliss. Yeah,
But I was like, why
I'll go-
would
I'll
I
go
break up the
Paul.
duo? I was like, why would I break up the duos? That's why. I
Well,
didn't
that's
think
what I
this.
did. I decided to break up CJ and Bliss, and instead I picked RuPaul and Bliss. But I feel pretty good about that. So what? I got Kellan, Shockwave, Bliss, and RuPaul.
Yeah.
I mean, that's great. All right, back to you, Matt. You need a tank and you need a flex support.
I think I'm gonna get one of the two flex supports I want, so I'm gonna go tank. I'm gonna take Custa. I think he's been balling lately.
Goff has been balling lately. Okay, I think it's a strong pick. It's a strong pick. We're back to AVRL. You now need 2 damage players, AVRL.
Yep. I have the best for last. Here we go. Let me have a think about this one real quick.
Say the best for last. Let me think.
I'm gonna go Jay-Woo.
It's a good pick.
Ooh.
I'm stacking
pretty
VP
good.
members. I'm stacking
Wow.
VP members.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's been playing
Everyone's
great.
just trying to recreate VP. Yeah,
I
strong
got
argument there.
Shockwave, so sorry.
That's,
Yeah,
that's
apply
fine.
against both
I'm
supports.
getting
That-
close.
Fuck, I might
What
not
did-
get
what-
the support I want.
Wait, Matt, what did you pick again?
I took Custa.
Custa.
Oh, you took Custa. Yeah. Sorry. Okay, cool. And I got. Yeah, cool. So apply get 2. Apply's finishing his team now.
I get 2. All right. Give me Ultraviolet. Oh, and then I need a main support. What? Someone has Fixer, right? AVRL, you took
I got
Fixer, didn't
Fixer.
you?
Yeah.
Go FD God, you won't.
Take FD God.
You won't.
FD God,
I heard-
second seed.
Oh,
It popped off.
God. I don't know who to get. Fuck. You know what? Give me Faith. Fuck it. Give me Faith.
Why don't you pick Vega?
Let me get Faith.
yeah.
Ultraviolet and Faith.
Nice, I like that. That's the good PR answer right there.
All right,
Yeah.
before Matt, it's back to AVRL actually, right?
Yeah,
AVRL's
yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
close out. Wait, do you have 2 picks? Oh yeah, you closed out your roster. You took
Yeah.
both. Yeah,
I feel
solid.
solid on my roster.
You feel
This
good.
is-
You got
I
Vestola,
feel-
3 Kevs there, Ultra. Oh my god, that is actually stacked on paper.
And so,
That's
speaking
insane,
of stacked, this is where I take the W, guys, because you've left me 3 Koreans available, and this is where I finish out my roster with knife. I knife that. I knife
Good.
it in there, and
You
that's
got
it.
Knife
that.
and Jwoo.
I got knife and Jwoo.
Okay.
So
AVRL is cooking.
yeah, I was either gonna go with UV or this other player in terms of support. Give me CJ. CJ's been sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Falling out on the honor. We're looking real good. And then it comes down to me, and I need a player to round up my squad. Just looking at the top teams, so that's been picked. Virtus Pro damage player's been picked.
I think Virtus Pro got cleaned out.
You
Yeah.
didn't go.
Yeah.
Nobody took Exodio.
No one took
yeah, he's
Exodio.
Dragon.
No Top Dragon, no Sauna. I don't think it was picked either.
No
I think
Seeker.
Liquid and
Yeah, no
Seeker.
Seeker picked.
fully.
I can only be 4 teams here. So I'm actually going to go for, there's a lot of great players who hasn't been picked here. But I'm actually going to go with Zero from Nightmare here to round
I
out
like
my
that pick.
team.
Zero's been great.
I
Yeah.
got Zero and Shockwave. I like that duo. I really like that duo as well. And that will bring us to a close here. So we got our 4 teams all
Bro,
set
my
to
team
go
would
here.
be- my team
And
would be going to China.
We'll set up
Let's see
a
the
chat
final.
poll here.
We'd be going to China.
Here's our FACEIT
team's
Pro
going to
League Fantasy
everyone.
Draft. And I'll just throw it down real quick. So apply. You were the first pick. You got 3 Kevster, Vestola, and Ultraviolet Faith in your backline there as well. It looks insane on paper.
Yeah,
it
I'm
looks,
feeling
it
solid.
looks
Yeah,
really
that looks
good.
kind of crazy.
Yeah. AVRL, you got Infected. Your backline is Gala, Fixa. And then you got Jwoo, Knife. What compositions are you playing here?
Avril just tried to get
Any-
every Korean that's playing in North America.
Any
in the NBA.
composition. I have the most flexible roster here. That's without a doubt. Infected.
I'm pretty flexible.
Plays everything. Gala moves across both supports here. Okay, Fixer, he's gonna main support. That's fine. And then Jay would not do Knife as like an actual hyperflex, literal hyperflex player. So I'm happy with what we got here. And
They
also,
was mostly play the Genji Tracer, so
Yeah.
I feel like
Yep,
Knife
and
has
also-
to get the
Genji's
other
been great.
heroes.
Yeah,
But,
knife can also drop on the tracer. I think it's important to have 2 tracers in your team actually. And actually, just one extra here, just as a bonus. I'm taking Rack Attack as my number 1 fan for the team.
Oh my
He's
God.
gonna wear the AVRL
Rack
team
Attack
hat.
is your partner
Who's your co-streamer? Who's your co-streamer?
We get to draft partnered co-streamers.
Oh my God, we're not doing that.
Apply.
Draft
And I
yourself.
draft you to be my
Draft
team.
yourself as
Yeah, I'll be on Matt's team.
Matt, your
Yeah.
team, you got Kaffa as your tank. You got Sugar Free and Quartz.
I'm liking that DPS
and then
lineup.
Funny Astro
Yo,
CJ.
my team has sick pop-off potential.
It
like,
does.
Quartz and Sugar Free is fucking nutty. And then I think like Cuffa and CJ have been like quite like underrated in North America. Like both those players have been fucking awesome. Like CJ, like on the Ana, like all the other kind of supports as well. Like the Juno has been pretty sick. And then Cuffa in terms of the tank, like I mean, you just saw against TL, like he can play just about everything. So
Yeah.
I feel really good. And then I need a Lucio, and I was like, Funny Astro's my
I need a
Lucio.
Lucio.
Easy answer.
And then finally to close it out, I got Kellan on tank. I got Shockwave and Zero as my, amazing damage duo. And then I got RuPaul Bliss in the back line. I'm so stoked about my team.
I like your backline.
Yeah.
Solid.
Zero is
Okay,
a good pick as well.
It does look like my team is falling very short and Apply is
Bro,
taking the lead.
I think my team's
What
going
is
to China.
happening?
Yeah, you're going to China. I mean,
Yeah.
where's the next one? Riyadh? You're going there too.
Yeah.
You're
I think
qualifying.
we're
You're
going
everywhere.
everywhere.
Everything right now.
If popularity was how you want to Overwatch, then that'd be how it is. That'd be how it is.
Popularity. Look at my 2 DPS. We can play whatever meta you throw at me.
How
Except the
am
Reaper
I
meta,
not getting
actually.
votes?
Except
That
the
is true,
Reaper
except
meta.
for
How are you not
Reaper
getting votes? Because like you picked like I don't know. I mean, your team's nice.
What's bad about my
It's
team? My team
alright.
owns and dominates.
You
I mean,
just
I
don't have
just-
any like Tree and Keps are like really exciting. Like same
I
with
just-
like Sugar Free and
Yeah.
Quartz. Like your team lacks a little pomp. It lacks a little excitement. You know
Where's
what I
the
mean?
star?
I just
power.
think I think
Okay.
the viewers recognize that you betrayed Wub, and that's you just getting to come up, and it's on that.
I'm
one.
going to clip
So that is-
that and I'm going to send it to every individual on my team, and I'll just be like, "This team looks pop. They lack like the star power. They lack excitement." And I'm just gonna send that to Kellan, Shockwave, RuPaul Bliss, and Zero. I'll be just like, "This is what they said about you."
You know what I mean? Like Zero's also on Watch Play. I love watching Zero, but like the people in the chat are probably like, oh man, like Tree Kepster, sign me up. Like Apply is the featured co-streamer. Fuck yeah, I'm
Yeah.
down. Like Team Apply,
Team
send
Apply.
them to Riyadh, send them to
We're going
Stockholm, send
everywhere.
them everywhere. Yeah,
We're going
Unreal.
overseas, baby.
I'm so
worldwide, Mr. Worldwide.
sad. Mr. World.
God, are these the
Sweden.
teams you were presenting, Johnny, when they were like, "Hey, you want to be an owl GM?" Like, is this type of stuff you would be like, "Yeah, we're just gonna get a bunch of these guys from all over the place." Is this what you do?
That's a great question. 2018.
Johnny was going to be a GM.
I actually,
at one point.
there was a moment in time there where I got fired from Misfits, and someone was like, "Do you want to be an Overwatch League GM?" I wonder what roster I would have cooked up there. It would have been like Twick, and then it would have been
Are you
Misfits
about
without
to-
Swoosh.
Yeah.
Wait, GM for
It would
Misfits
have been the
or
Florida Mayhem squad without Swoosh.
GM for
no,
Misfits?
No shade. What?
GM for Misfits?
No, I'm not gonna say what team it was. I'm not
Okay,
gonna say
never
what
mind.
team it was. But I did receive an email about it, asking if I was interested.
Expansion team, the Beijing Bears.
The Beijing Bears. All right, we actually in the middle of the episode, I didn't have the chat open, but we got a donation from I think it's Taint
Oh.
OW, $5. Thank
Thank
you,
you, Taint.
thank you for the 5. Says in caps lock, we love apply, AVRL, and reinforce, and then in parentheses, I guess Matt.
Thank you,
Um,
thank you, thank you.
Thank you for the $5.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I'll
Thank
be
you for the
making
$5.
sure I take all of those $5 because you put me in parentheses. I'll take it all. I'll take all of it. I actually don't have access to it.
You are technically a co-owner of Plat Chat, so he does have the ability to go for a vote and
I'll
and do
take it.
that.
Whatever I would probably end up netting like 65 cents. So yeah, I'll take that 65 cents and I will do nothing with it.
All right. So we concluded the vote. Apply. You won 37% of the votes.
Easy.
Apply,
AVRL
you
got
see anything crazy on
25.
the internet this week? Last week I was talking about how a guy got eaten by a whale and then spit out because whales don't eat humans.
I
You
did see
anything
that.
crazy?
I saw that on the kayak.
Shut up.
Honestly,
Shut up. You don't get it. No, I don't want to hear about this. I don't want to hear about this.
Why not?
I don't want to hear about this. I
I
just
saw
don't.
something wild, but also kind of like sad. Like
I'm
kinda
really
weird
trying to stay away from
sometimes.
bad news because there are
No,
some.
he lived. It was good news.
I
He
got
got
some
out
good
the
news.
Yeah, I
whale.
mean, he did live. Yeah.
It's
The
good
story that
news
I
is-
had was somebody who
what
didn't live.
shape was he in afterwards?
Great shape. He was fine.
great shape?
Human
Swam
shape.
back.
Human
was
He
shape.
just took a peek and was like, "What's going on in here?" And then
Yeah, he
Yeah,
went
okay.
to the bar, probably got a burger. He was a
that was a great story. I got swallowed by a whale once, and then it spit me out. So that's great. Wasn't that like literally like a fairy tale or something? Like a cartoon? What is that?
Yeah, everybody
Oh,
in the chat said that
Pinocchio.
was actually positive
No.
news. The guy getting spit out by
Yeah.
the whale.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay, sorry. I didn't read the news, so I didn't know if it was
Yeah.
bad. It sounded bad. Someone got swallowed by a whale. It sounded pretty bad.
That asteroid that was supposed to hit us in a few years last week, it's now
3%.
figured out what's going on here, and it's decided it doesn't even want to come here, so it's getting out of course. It's like
So
man,
the previous news there was like there's a 3% chance.
yeah, this
That's
is
the real comment, dude. Look
this
at
is
this.
the most based
This
Overwatch
person
take.
knows. This person knows.
Average Overwatch viewer take.
Oh, you can't. The
Yeah.
mathematics is just. It works out. You know,
It is
what can I
simple
say?
math.
Right, I can't. I think I believe I had 2, so I was almost there.
I had 1.
I had none, I think.
All right. Well, I got 13% of the votes, and then AVRL and Matt, you got 25 and 23 respectively. So there we go. It was great fun. Make sure you guys check out the FACEIT platform, of course, and stay tuned for more FACEIT Pro League action to come your way. Yeah, thank you for sponsoring this episode, FACEIT. Do appreciate it. Thank you. Now, to close it out, AVRL, our correspondent, what's going on over in Korea? What are they cooking?
boy.
Crazy Raccoon? What is happening with Crazy Raccoon, AVRL?
Oh, they have been caught up to by the rest of the region. What can I say?
Oh.
Things are getting wild. Where it's kind of like EMEA in a way where it feels like, except 2 to 6 in Korea, it's more like 1 to 6. Feels all possible. You know, it's all pretty insane, especially in.
Is this perks or like what's behind it?
So the group stage was Crazy Raccoon coming out on top, but now in the post perks meta, if you actually look at the seeding games, Zeta's come out ahead. They are now the #1 team based on recent results and power rankings. They beat everyone. Zeta
Yeah, I'm
beat
big on
everyone. It's
Zeta.
their time. It's their time. You know what
I'm
happened?
big on Zeta.
Two
my team.
things recently has happened that has allowed Zeta to get this good. Number 1, Matt has returned to Plat Chat. Number 2, Violet
true.
is no longer playing Lucio. Violet's mostly playing Ana now. So these 2 things have massively impacted Zeta.
Last week I got a message from Violet, and he said, "Thank you for returning to Plat Chat. I can now play on my usual play style."
Yeah. Apparently he actually hates Ana, but now he's just like, whatever, I'll just play Ana. So it's happening out. I think Ana's been really strong in Korean meta. Most games have hit Ana. Ana was creeping up even before perks, and now with perks, because she was one of the biggest winners from perks, she's like solidly in the meta, always cops a ban. If not ban, has a very high likelihood of being picked. As I said as well, we're pretty much heading into a Winston meta. And Korea is kind of leading the way on that, to no one's surprise. Ball has been falling out of favor. That actually may have impacted Crazy Raccoon's results a little bit. If you want to know why Crazy Raccoon might be falling down, they're still trying to make Ball work, but their Ball win rate has, I think, dropped off pretty sharply. So there is that. I think Falcons are struggling a little bit due to Harbin's hero pool. He's having to play the age-old Harbinston, which is...
Yeah, didn't he pop off on Winston?
I think he did all right on one map, but then other times it's just like, you'd rather not see it. He's trying to make Diva work still at various other places, but Malga's actually been popped up as well. And so Malga's been a nice fallback for Falcons. But the really crazy thing is Zeta beat Falcons in a Malga mirror, which really shouldn't have been possible because Falcons are supposed to be the best Malga team in the world. Because they beat Crazy Raccoon last year in finals and nearly beat them in Dallas as well, just on the Malga mirror alone. So now we come to this year, and Zeta with Burnout and Malga is now beating Falcons in the Malga mirror, which is absolutely insane.
2 spots for Asia, by the way.
Alpha Yi is also really hard popping off on the Pharah, like extremely hard. Pharah has also been really creeping into the meta in a big way, and Alpha Yi's been... Man, don't let me stop you right there. And Alpha Yi's just been really, really going for it. And what else? Wei is unfortunate. I think who are you? I think Genji has fallen off a little bit in the meta, which is impacting who are you. Torb is still being played. Sims dropped off a lot, but Torb being still in there probably impacts Genji's win rate a little bit.
You think it's because his perks are fucking mental?
Oh yeah. The best perks. That's why he needs quadruple jump, as we discussed at the beginning of the episode. Yeah,
They
quadruple
should have
jump
made a
will do it.
level 4 turret.
No one's picking the level 3 turret, by the way. Everyone's picking the wall turret.
The
Yeah,
wall
Sticky
turret
turret
is
is crazy.
nuts.
everyone's
Yeah.
picking the sticky turret. Yeah,
Very hard to kill it as a flanker.
we've seen people put it in the dumbest spots, like just
my
like
God.
the craziest
I
spots
see
where
people
like
throw it in like trees and shit. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like just
The
the most
third point
annoying
Blizzard World
spots.
has been amazing for the Torb turret. They're throwing it on the ceiling. It's been amazing.
Because you have to go out of your way to kill it. You really have to go
Yeah.
out of your way, and it's like you have to expose yourself to really stupid angles as well to try and get it down. So it's not fun trying to take it down. But Zeta look like the most competent team at the moment. And what's insane about the bracket is, I don't know if we have an opportunity to bring it up or not, but if we do, you'll see that Zeta have because they're first seed from seeding matches, they have first selection in the bracket. And there is no way in hell that they're choosing Crazy Raccoon. I'm firmly of the belief that Zeta will choose the winner of Way in T1, which means, assuming Crazy Raccoon beat FTG, which I think is very likely,
Oh my god.
Crazy Raccoon and Falcons play each other in the other side of the semifinal, which means
god.
they knock each other out, which means one of these two teams does not go to China.
Holy shit.
So last year, Falcons and Crazy Raccoon went to every event and placed top 2 every event. This year, one of these two teams for the first time in OWCS will not be making an event. Just due to the fact
Zeta
there's
earned
also
it.
one runner. Zeta what?
Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Matt. Hey, I mean, the big
Zeta-
Falcons in Amalgam Mirror.
Zeta
So,
was so
you know-
close last year, right? We saw them in EWC, right, AVRL? And they were like really close to actually
Yeah.
making it to Stockholm.
Yeah.
They just fell a little bit short. So, I
Well,
mean,
the EWC results were actually kind of weird because they ended up losing to Toronto, that really nice 7 mapper with Violet dropping the fattest Ajax in all of history.
dude, that was the best play of last year. The fucking top rope.
That was certainly
my
fucking
favorite
play.
barrier.
Yeah, I'm
was
pretty
my
sure we
favorite
crowned
play.
it that.
Year.
We crowned it that on Plat Chat, man. I'm pretty sure.
I never
The
seen
best play of the
somebody
year.
move so fast on Lucio. It was like he had triple speed out the fucking window. And like,
But no,
Only
in
Violet.
stage 2, yeah, Zeta came very close. It came down to, I think, literally one time bank overtime fight on
Yeah.
Rialto versus
That was
Falcons.
Rialto, yeah, last
Violet
year, yeah.
died first on A and time bank as Brig, and it was all over from there. So, yeah, good one.
Because it was the
good one,
Zeta
Violet.
Falcons map 5, and then it was the Falcons CR map 5, back to back.
So
which was just like
Zeta
insane.
have been getting close for a while, but it's funny because they were kind of, well, I don't know if you could say they were struggling, but they were still kind of falling behind a little bit in regular season. Falcons were kind of in a weird spot in regular season as well. They lost to Way, just super strange. So it was looking like Crazy Raccoon were going to be the top dogs once again, but then Perks come around, and Crazy Raccoon are still, much like some NA teams as well, still holding, maybe clutching them pearls a little too close to the chest, and maybe need to let go of the ball a little. This playoff is looking like, unfortunately, I would like to see T1 do well, but they've definitely struggled. They've been sort of like up and down this season so far. I don't think they've underperformed. I think Korea is just that competitive. Like the Korea results outside of Crazy Raccoon in regular season, who went 8-0. It's 6-2, 6-2, 5-3, 4-4, 4-4. If we just look at those match results, it's insanely close between 2 and 6. But now with Crazy Raccoon dropping down, I would say between 1 and 6, it's pretty competitive.
and we
Wait.
don't know yet, like kind of the split for the other tournaments, right? We just have Champions Clash in terms of how many teams from each region, right?
Yeah, we don't.
There was a rule book that came out. Didn't it say? Oh, wasn't there something in the preseason that was like subject to change, or that there was something?
Yeah, I was looking for it
I
because
got excited for a second.
yeah, what does it say? I think I found it. Oh yeah, the top 2 teams from each regional playoff will advance to Champions Clash. More details on seeding and qualification for mid-season championship and world finals will be announced at a later date. So yeah, I guess we don't.
Yeah. So. Oh, there we go. Asia, China, EMEA, NA. I mean, if you got 8 teams, 2 from each.
Yeah.
But let's just hope that second China team is good, because once again did release their roster, and it was pretty fucking stacked. It was like
Yeah,
all the best
it looked
Chinese
good.
players on one team.
No,
They're
it's
like
just
the
excited to
best.
be on that second
who
team.
else is left? Yeah.
It took all of them. It's not fair.
Let me tell you, this FPL exercise in China would not be fun.
No, it would just be yeah, everyone picking from once again, yeah. But AVRL, I'm pretty sure we had the bracket there. So if you had to make a pred between Wei and T1, and let's say CR beats from the game,
You know what?
right?
I'll just let you guys handle the whole bracket. Actually, that'd be fun. No.
Give me way.
I got Way too.
Yeah.
My boy, who are
Strangely,
you?
you guys are actually not wrong. I think Way
Strangely,
actually
Yeah, why
might
would
be
we-
favored here.
Me and Apply are
Strangely.
fucking experts of Korean
Yeah,
Overwatch.
I know everything.
it's like, wait, oh man, I don't know. Like, T1 are just a very streaky kind of hot and cold team. Very hard to get a read on whether they're going to be good or bad.
Give me who are you?
Yeah. Have you ever watched a Fusion Uni game? Give me who are you?
I think Genji is. I think on paper though, where the meta is and where perks are, T1 actually should be better on paper. But they've just been a shaky team, so I don't know if I can trust them, even though they should be winning this one on paper because they have the better players for the meta. Garu's too much of a ball one trick, and Pepe's too much of a Sigma one trick as well for Wei. Yu's too reliant on Genji, and his off-meta pick, other than Genji, so far has been Torb. Although I would trust he could also, he actually does play Tracer as well. Doja's fine because that's one of Aid's specialties. But beyond that,
I'm convinced. We're picking Wei. Come on.
Yeah,
we can pick Wei. We can pick Wei. All right,
Yeah.
we can pick Wei.
There's no other way.
Crazy will beat
Semifinals. And then let's say CRB's from the gamer.
From the game will not win this, unfortunately. They looked really shaky. They got 3-0'd by T1 in the last chance qualifier. They're not looking in good shape right now. And then I predict Zeta will pick Wei out of the options, which is pretty obvious. Falcons are going to be left with Crazy Raccoon. And Zeta are definitely got to beat Wei. I think Zeta are by far the much better team
that's
compared
a
to
wild format that they just like.
Single
All right,
yeah.
who you want to play? The winner of T1 or Crazy Raccoon? will they even ask Zeta, or will they just start the match?
Just get in the lobby.
I don't know who's going to win between Falcon and Crazy Raccoon because Falcons just beat Crazy Raccoon, but the last two games have been 3-2. So it was 3-2 Crazy Raccoon regular season, then 3-2 Falcons in the seeding matches. So both of these games have gone on 5 maps both times. Recency bias is Falcons little, but they didn't win. They didn't win by any sort of super convincing manner. Like it was very, very, very back and forth. Could have gone either way. This is a genuine coin flip again. This is like a no joke coin flip. And for the highest stakes, because again the loser doesn't get to go to Shanghai, go to Hangzhou rather. Man.
I mean, if your prediction is right and we're going towards a Winston meta, I mean...
Should be Crazy Raccoon then, yeah.
Yeah, it should be Crazy Raccoons then.
But I do have to say, the Falcons' DPS liners look better. Jumbin is obviously the Winston player, and Hanbin is not up to par on the Winston.
Yep.
But I don't know what it is, man. Lip has been slightly underperforming. Heesang has not been up to par at all. Stalker shits on that guy so hard, it's really not funny right now. It's not, and last year, Proper did the same thing to Heesang. It's not, I don't know what's going on, but he's saying once again might be a problem for this team. Even their back line doesn't look as solid. I don't know what it is. I think Jumbin is like the one, like, okay, we're in a Winston meta, we're in a very divey meta, maybe as long as they don't get too caught up on the ball. But the proper Stalker's won 2 player of the matches in a row now in the last 2 Falcons games, including the one versus Crazy Raccoon. So the DPS line of Falcons has been severely like able to bridge the gap of where Harbin's lacking in the tank department. So even though we're in a Winston man, it's like, man, I could still see it go Falcons.
I don't think any of these answers are wrong.
No, you can't really go wrong here. You can't really go wrong
AVRL, we're
here.
relying on you.
This is your year.
I don't know. In my head, all I was thinking about is some crazy alternate universe where Wei actually makes it to fucking Hangzhou. And we actually don't get we don't get Zeta, and we don't get one of Crazy Raccoon and Falcons, and then we get some bizarro like EMEA wins Hangzhou.
I mean, dude, if Wei win the whole thing, they just win Hangzhou too. At that point, you know, might as well give Who Are You that extra chip.
It finally clicked.
Who are you? Did it once again with Pepe.
I think I lean Falcons in the Crazy Raccoon game due to recency bias, but also I think the DPS line and the gap they create is just a little bit greater than what Jumbin does versus Hanbin right now. The supports are pretty equal, and that's why I lean Falcons. Also because they just beat them. But then we go to the actual finals, and I think Zeta actually take it. So I would probably go Falcons, then Zeta. But the Falcons Crazy Raccoon is legitimately a 50-50. Like, that could go either way.
You think Zeta beat Falcons in finals?
I think Zeta look better than Falcons right now. I think Zeta look better than Crazy Raccoon right now, too. I think Zeta have it all to go for, right? It's kind of their tournament to lose in the sense that they're that good right now that if they don't win, Violet must be Ajaxing once per map at this stage. So,
okay.
all you got to do is ban Anna, Violet goes Lucio, and that's a dub right there. He Ajaxes,
Yeah.
you win. So
We got Falcons beating Crazy Raccoon, and then Zeta beating Falcons. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
There we go. That's the bracket. Thank you, Avril. Thank you.
Thanks, Avril.
Yeah.
Thank you, Avril.
Can't wait to follow Korean bracket and see how
Are
it
you
goes.
going to
It's gonna be
China,
exciting.
Avril?
I'm not partnered with anybody, so I don't really have like a.
It's a shorter
I
flight for
could-
you, though. You're like around.
It is. I could make the trip out. My concern was that like I was thinking about going, but then like if not enough of the English community or the English speaking fan base go, or like people I know, like if Rack, dude, honestly, I might just hit up Rack and be like, dude, if you go, I'll go. I'll just say it to him. I'll just be like,
Dude, I'd watch
we
you
will both-
just randomly explore China.
That'd be a good stream.
I'm thinking about
Backpack
it.
streams?
Yeah, it's. We'll see. I don't know yet. I want to see who else is going because I don't want to be the one dude there with like. This is the thing that was fun about both Dallas and Stockholm was just full of like English Overwatch fans. So it was like super cool in that kind of way. And I don't know. It'd be a little weird if I just. It's not like I can speak Chinese, but that's not the point. I just kind of want to like. It'd be cooler to hang out with people and.
Yeah.
Hang out with Rack or whoever's there if they go.
It was
So
cool.
I don't know yet. We'll see.
I was there in 2016. Like I said a couple of times now, and it was like a cool experience. So if you get the opportunity to go,
I've never been. We never really did any Call of Duty tournaments in China. We kind of stayed to here in America. So
Thanks,
it
Matt.
would be cool to go.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks fucking sweet.
yeah, like I said, some Szechuan food. Got to eat some of that spicy food. That'll be good. For Bren's Player of the Week, to wrap up this episode, before we get to that, everyone should know, of course, that as is Plat Chat tradition, if someone gets married or engaged, they automatically qualify as an extra Bren's Player of the Week.
Oh.
And this week, it was obviously 9K who got married.
Oh,
9K had his wedding. Avril, you're
Shout out.
smiling like I'm wrong. It was 9K, right?
It was 9K, but I think I'm smiling because usually when someone gets married, that means we skip them for Brent's Play of the Week. But
Oh,
If you
they're
wanna
added
give-
like as a bonus. Like they
yeah,
automatically.
they're a bonus on. I see.
Yeah, they auto
see.
qualify. Yeah, so you have to pick one besides 9K who got married.
Okay.
Here we go. And I believe there was a tweet, or I forget who sent the tweet, but someone tweeted out as well that 9K was like tweeting during the wedding, or not tweeting, like coaching or something like during the wedding. So just getting some reps in there. There you go. Congratulations to 9K. Getting married, of course. And then we have to pick a Brent's Pro of the Week. Alongside 9K.
oh.
So who
Last
we got?
week it was the
Any-
guy who got eaten by the whale, right?
No, well, was it?
Yeah, it was. Because I didn't let you intro the segment. I just started talking, and I said he was the
Yeah,
Brent's
it
player
might
of the
be
week.
actually. That might be. Someone from Zeta, Avril?
Oh, I know who it should be. It should be Aaron Keller because he's our biggest Plat Chat fan.
Oh, we forgot to
Oh,
mention.
yeah.
true.
Aaron Keller, we forgot to mention.
He watches Plat Chat.
Tweeted out. He's
tweet-
watching Plat Chat and responded
He's
to you,
like-
Avril.
Yeah, he responded to me. He's like, "Yeah, I watched the recent Plat Chat." I'm like, "Yo, he's a Plat Chat viewer. Let's go." Our favorite Plat Chat fan, Aaron Keller.
Yeah, we can pull that up real quick, someone. My favorite part of the tweet when he used the hashtag Plat Chat.
Yeah.
He goes into the Hall of Fame with the guy who was eaten by the whale and all the other illustrious
The
winners.
whale
of Brent's
guy and
Player of
Aaron
the Week.
Keller.
Respect and many. There you go. Aaron Keller at Avril watching the latest Plat Chat, and you wondered whether perks will
Dude.
be in the 6v6 comp season. They will.
I love Aaron. He's just a cool. He's just
Look
a
at the
cool
bad
dude.
Pachamari comment.
No way Aaron has watched the entire Reinforce Rascal rant. There are some like the next thought I had was like, did Aaron Keller watch us promote freeze pipes?
Hey, look. Freeze pipes
There you
could
go.
be for anybody. It could be for anybody. I mean,
Yeah, that's
know.
right.
It's been a big week for Aaron
Alright.
Keller. He also responded to that video of
oh, that was so
that
funny.
Futures music
Of him
video.
dancing.
Perks.
Yeah. But Aaron Keller, great start to the year for Aaron Keller and the Overwatch team. Everyone's really excited, of course. So
Aaron is always so happy. Like that's one thing when people watch these videos and they think it's like
Oh my
kind of
God.
fake. Like he's just always such a happy, positive guy. He's awesome. This video
That
is
video is real.
incredible.
This is
That's
You know
a real
what? You know
video.
how we had the orchestra last year at like at Stockholm?
Yeah.
We should see if Aaron will perform this live at
Just like
Stockholm.
this.
Just like he'll get some backup dancers
Yeah.
and he can perform.
We'll be the backup
in Sweden.
dancers. Aaron can
He
perform.
can perform Futures Mask Off before the final.
in Sweden. Yeah, middle of the
In
winter.
Sweden.
Yeah, at DreamHack. Oh my goodness. Yeah, let's not do that.
You don't like that idea?
No,
We
no,
already
no,
had
no.
DJ Khaled. What could be worse? Come on.
Yeah,
Dude,
I love Aaron Keller.
I like the DJ. A DJ Khaled. Look, it was didn't look cool on stream, but there was like some people vibing there. I was
in
like,
the
yeah, this is
arena.
cool.
In the arena, it was honestly better than it looked on stream.
Yeah, he
But
started to
then-
like panic a little bit with the crowd, when he was
Yeah.
like, put your hands in the air if you have a family, and just like kind of like he was like looking for anything, like put your hands in the air if you're breathing, like
If
he
you're
was kinda
hungry,
like,
put your hands in the air.
yeah, put your hands in the air, like he's like, I could have been anywhere, but I'm here, and everyone's like, cool.
Guys,
Okay,
do you
we
guys
know
want to see something that will immediately make you feel really damn old? Do you guys remember in that DJ Khaled clip? And he's like, put your hands in the air, and then like the camera pans to this kid in like a casting
Yeah, the
cosplay,
cast
and he just
cosplay,
looks
yeah.
lost. He looks completely lost. Well, that kid is like kind of grown up now. That kid, fun fact about it, that kid is like the son of a caster in China. That kid is now, if you keep scrolling, that's now the kid.
Oh, I am old.
You feel
Holy
old yet?
shit.
You feel
He's
old
like
yet?
a,
shit.
That's
he's like
the kid
a
now.
person now.
That's the kid.
How does that work?
He's like a
Shut up,
person. Holy shit.
That's
That
the kid
was,
from the DJ Khaled
7 years ago.
camera shot.
He aged
Yeah.
in like dog years, like twice as
That
fast
is
or something.
Wait, was it really that long ago?
Bro,
7 years
that's
ago.
God.
crazy.
Now you feel old. Now you feel old. That's right.
Bro,
That's awesome.
Jeez.
that's wild.
Now you remember Twilight's 27. That's right. Now
I mean, you could
remember.
also do this. So, like, what? Jay Woo is 17, so Jay Woo was 10 during the 2018.
Bro, there's no way, man.
What was that? What was that hip hop group that was rumored to be in contact with Matt?
Oh,
From
another
2018.
one. Run the
Run the jewels?
The Jewels.
Run the Jewels.
Do you
Run the
think?
Jewels.
Here's my question for you, Matt. If Run the Jewels had performed instead of DJ Khaled at the 2018, would Overwatch League still be around?
No, but
We blaming
Also,
DJ Khaled.
like-
Wow.
for
like
Overwatch
video esport event like concerts are never really cool. Like
League. Yeah.
you have a bunch of people who like don't want to be at concerts and actively doesn't go to concerts, like forcefully receiving a concert. So it's never gonna
if
be
it can
like,
be hype,
awesome.
like Worlds
Well,
kind of
fully
do it cool, you know. They
receiving a
do like
concert.
it's a hype if Worlds do it.
Yeah, it looks
because it's a
awesome, but,
whole like performance.
yeah, but it's more the performance than like the music. You know what I mean? Like it's like
staging,
the fucking
yeah,
the
the
3D
setup.
dragon and all the other shit going on. Yeah, it's not like if they just trotted out the artists and just sung
They
the
just
songs on
threw
stage.
DJ
it'd be like,
Khaled on the fucking
Now-
stage.
yeah.
It's like good luck.
The
The same
reason
like
why-
Zed does it. Like
Nothing.
Zed plays like a DJ set. It's like no one's gonna be invested in like a DJ set.
Yeah.
from Zed.
The reason why Matt said that Al would still not be around, because little known fact, Matt used to work for Blizzard on the Overwatch Esports team. He actually is the one that killed Al, so that's why Matt said Overwatch League wouldn't be around,
Yeah,
because he
sure.
still would have killed Al.
Him single-handedly.
regardless,
Your
so-
blames on me if you want. I'm down. I'll just forward them to Custa now.
What he did was he killed Overwatch League and then quit himself. He's like, I'm gonna kill this and then I'm gonna bounce, just like that. That's how cold-hearted he is.
Yeah, you know what? I actually want some time off, so I'm just gonna, just do this. No, that's not how it happened.
Matt, can you
yeah,
the 2018 Grand Finals? If we just isolate like the setting of the Grand Finals, I know we're going down a rabbit hole. We're supposed to close out this episode, but like at the Broken Arena, it was super sick.
Dude, it's sick.
How would you
It was.
rank just like individually? Like how would you rank that event compared to some of the other events
well-
you've worked at, you've seen? Because I like being there. That was like the most awesome esports event I've ever
yeah.
been
So
to.
like overall, I mean, I had food poisoning the day before, so I was
That is
vomiting.
true.
In a
You were
hotel,
very
so
sick.
I wouldn't exactly rank the event like
Right.
I've had events where I felt better, than just 14 times projectile vomiting. But I mean, dude, for an esports event, I mean, I had obviously done a lot of Call of Duty events, and like, we had a ton of people there, but like in a fucking basketball stadium, I was like, what the hell is this? Like, that was crazy. Dude, it's up there. I think season 1 I would put over like the Philly one. Just because like the first one is always like it's the biggest splash. It's the one they kind of throw the most into. The whole like
Best of 3 series.
the win, a best of 3 of best of 5 is a little bizarre, but I
That's how
mean,
basketball works.
dude, it was still awesome. I mean,
Like the whole, it's
regardless,
like an event. Like all the in stadium kind of like graphics and events they held, and like
yeah.
there was
I would say,
just a super sick event. Yeah, it was.
that event, and then the other one I would put up that I've done was COD Champs at the Forum in LA. We did that one year, and they turned it to like a COD XP. So like outside, they had like recreated Call of Duty maps to play laser tag. They had
That's sick.
you could dress up in like military outfits and like sumo wrestle each other. They had done like a ton of stuff, and then Wiz Khalifa and Snoop Dogg performed, which was slightly much better than DJ Khaled. So like that was super cool. I would say those two are definitely like above and beyond.
How would you guys feel about the Seraphim
God.
performing at Stockholm? What if we had them?
I like.
They do Overwatch stuff.
I'm not the right person to ask.
Damn.
I can tell some people. I don't listen to K-pop, so I'd be like, all right, cool, whatever. Like, don't
Damn,
know
bro.
what that
Target
starts.
audience. Yeah.
They made an Overwatch collab song. We can't. Come on.
Look how
Supposed to
young
be
the size of
everybody
this thing.
Wow.
Josh even has some
It was
hair
so
like,
crazy to
towards the
see.
front of his head.
Still has some hair.
Dude.
Yeah,
That was
Dude, look at
so.
me
I forgot how
fucking
big this
so
arena
big.
was.
It was
Yeah, right?
huge. And then like the
Remember-
walkouts was like sick music in the
Yeah.
back, and like GB introducing the teams. It
Dude,
was,
what a come up from Bren. He went from like little fucking town in England to on a
Gloucester.
fucking desk here. Yeah, doing this.
Yeah, I remember
Those
watching
shirts are
this.
so easy.
this was on ESPN, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Disney, I think, like Disney Plus or whatever.
XD baby.
Oh,
Disney
XD.
XD.
Disney XD. Oh my god, can you even believe we were like Disney XD?
The desk,
Yeah.
I think, for the second day was me, Brennon, Malik to do the DJ Khaled thing, which was so funny.
Yeah, I was just there. I didn't work. I was just there. I just watched.
I was in Contenders during this, and I remember like all of the Mayhem Al team and Contenders team, we all got into like one apartment to watch it. It was so fun. We had like a big watch party. We had pizza, wings. Very enjoyable night.
That photo is so shit.
Oh, there you go.
That's the
There you
best
go.
dressed match
Oh,
ever.
look
been,
at you.
by the
Oh,
way.
you look
wouldn't
good
know.
there.
Yeah, what
Oh.
happened?
Does that look like somebody who threw up 14 times a few hours before? No, it's
That's
not.
the best hoodie Matt's ever worn. Look at that.
Bro, fuck whoever left that cheesecake out, man. I mean, that shit. fucked me
Damn,
up.
food poisoning from a cheesecake.
Bro, apply. We had like a rehearsal, and then I went in the back, and there was like catering. It was kind of gone, but they had like a junior's cheesecake, which is pretty good cheesecake.
Oh no.
And I had it, but then I didn't. But nobody relayed that it was out for a few hours, and we went to dinner. And I was like, I don't feel that good, and I started throwing up. I tried to self-medicate. I got myself a bagel and a bottle of Pepto-Bismol and 2 Gatorades. And that wasn't cutting it.
You should got it
So,
out the night before though.
Yeah, I went to a
Oh.
hospital. I got some IVs, and then I got some nausea medicine from some shady pharmacy there, and then I was good to go.
Dude,
Well, I wasn't gonna tell anybody 'cause they would've
Widowmaker
taken me
dual
off the
ratio
show.
stat go?
Huh?
Where did our Widowmaker dual ratio stats go?
They're gone.
They're gone. Yeah, this was awesome. So yeah, sorry, we just went down a rabbit hole here because DJ Khaled mentioned. But yeah, it was an awesome event. So anyway, I'm just curious to get your thoughts on that, Matt. There you go. That's going to be us for Plat Chat Overwatch episode 255. AVRL, Reply, Matt. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's a great time.
Thank you for having me as well.
All right, time to cue some ranked apply.
Let's go.
What
Hell yeah.
hero are you selecting first?
Tracer.
Tracer. Here we go. Solomon, produce the show. Good to see
Thanks,
everybody.
Solomon.
I'll see you. We'll see you guys next week for a continuation on how the brackets have started to unfold
True.
as we get to the region.